There's literally nothing like those wild parties. All I did was drink and party and go to rock concerts. So I got VIP access to a certain very hot rock star's room.
This was getting a little intense for my liking.
What's your problem?
Okay.
Look, bitch, I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you're no better than the rest of us.
Hey, come on, you gotta go. I'll call you.
Hey, what would you say if I were to tell you that rock stars like Terry would pay for your attention and you would be a multi-millionaire because of it?
Hey everyone, it's your girl Catherine Nunez, and you're watching Real Talk with the director and the counsel on the IE Network.
Real Talk.
Hey, I'm Gina Lou, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real Talk.
Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, this is Monique Capri, and you are watching Real Talk with the Director on Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
It's Vicky Judy, Orange is the New Black, and I'm here with Real Talk.
Yo, what up? This is Jay Ellis, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio. Keep it locked.
Hi, I'm Trina Parks. You are listening to Real Talk Radio with the Director. Hey, I'm Issa Rae, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
And nothing less. Thank you. We're back. Yeah, welcome to another edition of Real Talk with the Director, the Jedi Council, and the Director. We'll be with you for the next 120 minutes or so. Real Talk is brought to you every Monday. B2S Media. We broadcast live via the World Wide Web on youtube.com/IE Network TV. Don't forget to go and like as you come into the room. Subscribe if you haven't already, and share with your friends. Also, we broadcast on the social network itself, Facebook, aka Meta, and Twitter. So, welcome back. Another Monday, the 27th of June, as June is flying past us. We're here back to talk some more movie-ish with you. Some movie stuff, some TV stuff. You know, this is what we do. So we'll do what we do and have a good time. This week I want to, last week when we introduced the he/she got, he, she, whatever got next. I'm doing one this week. I just only did one. This one's going to be She Got Next. This time I picked some of my young actors, like really like under 20, 25 and under group of actors that I feel are just the next ones that are going to take that ball, take the baton and run with it. I thought I'd bring that up in there. Also, today, of course, are trending topics, as we always go through and talk about. And, of course, you can't really say trending topics these days without mentioning Mr. Ezra Miller, who is, in my opinion, demonstrating to you how to kill a brand. So, we will touch on that a little bit of, going forward. Top Gun has made, Billy top billing, right? They made a Billy, and if they made it there, congrats to them. Big applause to the cast and crew of Top Gun Maverick. making $1 billion in the box office. That is, it's still to this day kind of rare. You think of people, because of the Marvel movies, people were like, everybody does $1 billion. Everybody doesn't do $1 billion. So congrats to them. My question is, going forward, should they just leave it now? Which how movie companies are. They're going to want to go again. And I'm like, you hit lightning in a bottle. Just that's it. We don't need no more. But what happens. You make that kind of money, they got throwaway money. And they say, let's make another one. Gonna be some garbage probably. But we'll see. They waited, 40 years to do this one? 30 years, something like that. We know if Tom Cruise is involved, he's always game. So we got that. Also, a couple other things. I think we'll recap a little bit of the Obi-Wan finale because we didn't really go over it last week. I don't think it had happened yet, right? So, quick little recap of that. We got some fun stuff to talk about, and we'll go forward from there. So, yeah, let's go to our weekend recap, as we always do, is via boxofficemojo.com. And number one, this is the weekend of June the 24th through the 26th. Number one, Elvis. We're going to run this race. There goes Elvis. I have a terrible Elvis impersonation, but whatever. He was number one at 31.2 million. Top Gun Maverick, as we talked about, slips to number 2 this week at 29.6 million. Jurassic World Dominion is it made another 26.7 million, which now brings the worldwide total to 748,303,000 domestic. The Black Phone opens at 23.6 million. It just opened on the 24th. And not bad, 23.6 million, 12 million domestic, 36 million worldwide. Lightyear at 18.2 million. Lightyear is just not doing anywhere close to what Disney or Pixar or whoever thought it would go or hoped. It's now only at 152 million worldwide. Because as we know, one of the very rare times that a film did worse overseas internationally than it did domestically, and we all know why. If you don't know why, stay tuned. We'll talk about it when the council gets on. And yeah, that was Lightyear. That was it. So that is your weekend recap for the June 24th to the 26th, the year 2022. So let me just... All right. So we'll get into it. And let's talk about... that we're doing this trending topics. Let's talk about Lightyear a little bit. Why isn't it done? It's a couple of reasons why, but there's a specific reason why it hasn't done well overseas, in my opinion. And then, of course, there's just reasons why it didn't do well, period. So let's bring in Ralph, Jedi Council. Kev, I'm sure, will be joining us shortly. Ralph in the building. What's up, man?
Hello, everybody. But before we get to the subject, could we please have a moment of silence for Tank and Jeremiah and Omarion and everybody else that was in his crew that got their ass whooped by
Omarion got washed. Now, he don't even get that much from me. Now, Tank actually sounded okay, though. It wasn't the fact that Tank sounded fine. It wasn't his. Tank didn't sound bad, and I was, it's funny you brought that up because I was wondering why was Tank out there in the first place? Why did he bring out Tank? And now I understand why he brought. I do understand now. Tank wrote the song. Oh, he wrote it and produced it. So that's why he came out on that song. Because I was wondering why, like, that was out of left field to me. I'm like, why would he bring Tank out of nowhere? But Tank wrote "Oh" and he produced it. So that's why he brought him out. And the bottom line is, Tank sounded fine. It was just everyone else that you mentioned that sounded terrible. And
But
unfortunately,
still,
he got to hold the L with that team. Unfortunately, he got to hold the L. But I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it 100. Tank did not sound bad. Tank could sing, and he didn't sound.
He got to take that L. He got to take that L.
Well, he's holding the L because he's with that team. But I'm just making it clear that it ain't because he sounded bad. It's because Omarion was just terrible.
Like I said, he got. And while we're giving Omarion all the more silent, can somebody please go up, because I think Ray J is still crying right now because he just got slaughtered. So somebody go up and give him a hug, give him a tissue.
I don't know what the hell is wrong with Ray J. Ray J sounded like he's worse. He sounded worse than awful. Like, I don't even know what's worse than awful. Awful, putrid, or
crappy.
like what's worse than awful?
He didn't have the audio tune guy going on with him.
But he didn't have none of that stuff, but neither did Omarion. Now, here's the funny thing. Now, Omarion was pretty much can you hear my mic now? Is it steady?
I can hear you. Yes.
It's probably because I'm moving back and forth. I'm trying to stay in the path of the mic, but I'm trying to keep the mic from blocking the camera. But anyway, Omarion was he was exposed because even his ex-group members was kind of dragging him and exposing him, saying, you exposed yourself because we already knew that you really couldn't sing. Like you had to stay longer in the studio and had people helping you and sing it. And he even said, I forgot what name he said, but he mentioned some of those parts on their first album that wasn't even Omarion. It was somebody else singing for him, and everyone thought it's Omarion. Now just to let everybody know, this is something that's been practiced in the music industry for decades. There are times where someone else, there's that long-standing, maybe call it a rumor, but there was a long-standing thing about Ralph Tresvant singing the parts for Bobby Brown on Every Little Step, the very first verse. This has been something that's been out there for years. And really, after I heard it, I went back and listened to the song a lot of times, and I was like, you know what? That could be Ralph. Like when you listen that first verse of Every Little Step, not the second verse. The second verse is definitely Bobby, but the first verse, it sounds like Bobby, but if you really listen, it could be Ralph.
If you broke it down, yeah.
If you broke it down and really listen to it,
both verses, if you break down both verses and listen, you still can hear Ralph Tresvant even on the second verse. Now the remix single with the new verse, you don't hear him on that one.
No, you don't hear him on that, and I have to believe that's why he added new verses and stuff like that. The very first verse and the part where it goes, every little step. One of the times if you listen, because now you can, Bobby's voice is kind of distinct because number one, Bobby yells. He always yelled a little more. You know what I mean? So he always got that yell in his voice. So in the second verse, it's definitely him because you can hear the yell, the Bobby yell. At that point, Ralph's voice is strong, and he's a better singer than Bobby, but Bobby's voice is very strong, right? So the second verse is definitely Bobby, but that first verse is a toss-up. It could be Bobby. It could not be Bobby. So, right, that's one thing. And that whole story behind that was Bobby was out looking for drugs, and but Ralph was actually doing it with him, but he was there. Bobby didn't show up. Whatever the case may be, allegedly that Bobby didn't show up, allegedly, and Babyface in LA was pissed, and Ralph was there, and he did it. They had him do the first. Now maybe he could have been agent. Maybe they could say, "Hey, just do it for now, so we have something," and then maybe when he gets it over. Right, because to be honest with you, we don't know. When you write songs for people, there's different ways of referencing the song, so you know how it goes. Right? Who knows if Bobby even knew the song at that point or knew how it went? They could have been like, because normally Babyface would be the one to, reference the song the way it's supposed to go. But at this point, it's time to record, and there was no Bobby. So, but anyway, so. I believe that 100% that some other guy stepped in and did Omarion's parts on record. I mean, hell, look what he did. He brought Tank out to sing "Oh" with him, and Tank was singing more than him on the song. Like I said, up until that point that I researched it, I didn't even understand why Tank was there. But Tank, as you, I don't know if people may know, Tank's very talented. Tank is a writer, a producer. He's a very talented artist, and he did write.
Not based on that night,
he did. No, it wasn't. No, you
not looking at that
I'm not gonna let you say that because Tank was not. But he did not sound bad. Tank did not sound bad. That has nothing to do with the fact that Omarion sounded crappy is not Tank's fault. And they take the L as a crew, but he's just helping him out. Omarion really needs to just hold that L by himself. Man, everybody else just sounded terrible. The only two people up there that sounded good. Tank sounded good when the little bit that he sang. And of course Mario. Now Mario, just what he did, because like I said before, the verses has changed, and it changed ever since the Locks beat up on Dipset that time, because the way Jada Kiss kind of changed, they kind of changed the way verses is even judged, so to speak. Verses used to be just hit verse hit, and to be honest with you, if it was done the old school way, Omarion should have won that using B2K stuff and as well. He should have won hit for hit, but now the verses isn't like that no more. Now they also talk about your stage presence, your performance. Now all of that's a part of it now, so they brought it to this new level, and it's hurting some folks. It's hurting some folks because it's like, whoa, I'm getting exposed here.
I'm gonna change that. It's not hurt, but I'm gonna change that. It's not hurting. It's exposing some folks.
It's exposing
that you really were not that from Jump Street.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Everybody want to be Michael, but realistically speaking, you're Tito.
Yeah, not even Tito could sing on key. So I mean, it doesn't even matter. I mean, they sound like a bunch of howling wolves up there. I was like, what is going on? Omarion sounded like he was on a treadmill, like he's singing or running on a treadmill. And shout out to Heaven Hollywood. He brought up a very good point. Omarion, he's in great shape. Body in great shape and all that stuff, right? But Omarion put on too much muscle, too much weight. He don't even move like he used to. You could tell. You look up there, he ain't even moving as limber as he was because he done put on too much muscle. He put on too much weight. You know what I mean? Not weight. He's not out of shape. Not out of shape weight. Muscle weight. He put on too much mass. Now he's already a short frame. So you got to think about it. When you're short, as short as he was, he's very short. People don't realize how short he is. But you know,
Yeah,
when you're short,
it's like 5'4" or something like that, right?
right? When you're
Like
short
5'4",
like
5'5".
him, something like that. When you're short like him, and you're stocky or whatever, you know, and your movements are not going to look as smooth as they do if you're his height and you're a little thinner. You know what I'm saying? See, Chris Brown is proportionate with his weight and his height because he's tall. You see, so he's tall and still comes across, even though he has put on weight too. Since since he first came out, he was a child when he first came out, but he's put on weight a little bit. You know, he's not no skinny twig, but he still looks smooth when he moves, probably because of his height. Probably because of his height, you know. But he's still moving the same. Omarion is not, and you could tell. I was like, wow, there was some, you know, because he had the you know, you gotta come out there when you dropping stuff like touch, do, touch. You supposed to be killing it. You supposed see Mario tricked him, just like Jadakiss tricked Dipset, or tricked the crowd again to be against Dipset, because what Jadakiss said was, "I'm up here, we up here rocking to our instrumentals. These dudes lip syncing, they rocking to their records and stuff like that." And that hurt them. That was one thing that hurt them. Then when he dropped that freestyle, that was it. They was like, oh man, he just dropped the freestyle. But what Mario did was he took a page from Jadakiss and he kept dropping the music out and singing a cappella and showing the people that he can sing. And he knew that that is Omarion's weakness. What Omarion should have done was the reverse. He should have played to his strengths and really went out there and did some ill dance stuff to try to take the crowd's mind off the fact that he can't sing. I mean, that's what he should have done.
This was my thing, right? But this was my thing. Like, yo, Marion, you brought all those cats out there with you. Why didn't you just bring B2K with you? That would have just made it, instead of bringing a whole bunch of other folks that didn't have nothing to do with you.
He's not on good terms with them. Right. You should have just, but and Mario said that. And I wouldn't, one thing, some people complained about Mario being like, because Mario was talking a lot of John. Yo, I have no problem with that. That is the spirit of verses. It's a competition. It's a
turn their mics off. Turn their mics off.
Yeah. It's a competition. Well, you know what? He was a little annoyed that all these shenanigans that Omarion was doing, had the crowd was, you know, had he to fooled the crowd into liking him for doing this, let's just say those guys that came out didn't sound terrible. Would that have helped Omarion? That's kind of like cheating, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? Let's just see. No, let's assume. Let's just say, hypothetically, those guys came out and they sounded good. Well, Tank did sound good, but you know, would that have helped his cause a little bit? I don't know, but he was just sounding bad, and
I don't know.
It wasn't fooling. It wasn't fooling the crowd. They were like, and the people in the comments, yo, I was dying watching those comments. They was like, oh my god, they like, what is wrong with Omarion? Niggas like, ain't nothing wrong with him. He can't sing. He's just fine. He can't sing.
He sucked.
This is the real Omarion.
He sucked.
Yeah, he waited, you know, a lot of times he waited late to break out. Now here's the and this is the last thing I'll say on it, but here's the real thing about it that's just pitiful. Mario pretty much washed him up, and he didn't even break out "You Should Let Me Love You" to the end. That was his last song of the night.
That was the sad part. That was the sad part. Like the song you wait for. He said, you know what? They doing so bad. I could hold my one real good hit to the end and just coast on other stuff. He was knocking them out the box with their own songs. He was knocking them out. I was like, man, this is worse than embarrassing.
He really killed them. And that's what happened. And speaking of embarrassing and terrible performances, the BET Awards, which I never watch. I haven't watched a BET Award. I haven't sat down and watched a full BET Awards maybe in 20 years, probably. Like I've never really sat down and watched from beginning to end the BET Awards because it is a joke now, especially today.
I know the last one. I know the last one I saw. That I saw from the beginning when Jamie Foxx hosted. It was the year after Michael Jackson's death when he hosted it. That one I did watch from beginning to end because that had a
maybe I
different
watched.
kind of
Did
vibe
that
going
is that
on.
the one?
But
Wait, I think the last one I watched was Janet. Did Janet do that at the BET Awards when she came out and danced with Michael virtually on the screen? Was that BET? Was that the BET Award?
I want to say
was that like
yes.
the American Music?
I do want.
It might have been BET, I think.
No, I want to say that's the BET Awards when she did that.
Yeah, I think so. Because I'm thinking about the people that were in the crowd, and there was a lot of black faces in the crowd. So I'm thinking it might have been that might have been the last one I watched. That might have been the last one.
I know Jamie Foxx because he had hosted 2 straight years. The first year came right after Michael Jackson had passed. But then the second year, because they didn't have enough time to really give him a memorial, but then the second year they gave him the full-fledged memorial, but Jamie Foxx came back as the host. But those were the last 2 that I sat there from beginning to end and watched. But all these other ones, nah.
Yeah.
The buffoonery is ridiculous.
Let me see. Janet Scream performance. Let's see what that was at when she performed the post-death. No, that was at the VMAs. That was the VMAs. That wasn't BET.
Oh, VMAs?
Yeah, that was Janet Jackson when she performed that time. The first time, really, like the only time she performed Scream, because they never got a chance to perform it together. And she performed it virtually with Michael. That was dope. That was dope. But I know something happened, like you said, with the BET Awards too. They did get a chance to give him a nice tribute that second time around or whatever. So, but yeah, man. Like I said, yo, it's the BET Awards is just a joke now. You got this saucy Santana person, or whoever the hell this person is, and I'm just like, yo, this is. I'm looking at this stuff like, yo, it's just a joke. It's a joke. These people are not talented. I'm sorry. And I have to say it. You know, I mean, hell, they're on TV and I'm not, right? But guess what? Everyone on TV is not talented.
That means nothing.
Sorry.
That don't mean nothing.
Yeah,
I saw the performance by the girl Chloe Bailey. Because I just happened to, and they were talking about it like on the news feed. I said, okay, all right. You know,
Chloe Bailey can perform though. She knows how to perform. Both of them do. They know how to perform. And let's be honest, they were mentored by Beyonce. You already know that Beyonce knows how to perform.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like her, love her, hate her, whatever you because everyone, it's like Beyonce, you either like, hate her or love her, right? I mean, I'm neither. I respect her and I like her. You know what I mean? I don't love her. I definitely don't hate her.
How anybody not gonna like big booty Beyonce? I don't understand that. I mean,
I don't know. It's crazy.
And I say this for no other reason beyond the fact that physically, her physical part is that whether you like the song or not, you cannot deny that when Beyonce gets there on that stage, she puts it all on the stage.
Oh yeah, she always leaves it there. She leaves it out. She leaves it on the stage. But let me tell you something. With the 2 sisters, Chloe and Halle Bailey, Chloe catches a lot of the flack because people cannot deal with the fact that these girls are grown up now. Like when they first came out, they were like, young and this and the other, but they're grown up. They're grown women.
Britney Spears.
Yeah, they're grown women, yo, and they can't come to why she gotta try to be all sexy and she's just trying too hard and but like, yo, the woman is performing. It's called performing. It's called stage presence. It's called, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's called performance. That's what it is, right? So you have to. She is a performer. They both are very talented. They both play instruments. They sing very well. They act. Halle Bailey is about to, they've been dropping little tidbits. I'm pretty soon we're gonna get a Little Mermaid trailer. I'm telling you that, because they've been dropping little tidbits, and, here and there. We're gonna get a Little Mermaid trailer.
I would not be surprised if that trailer doesn't come out when Thor comes out. It would not surprise me.
Wouldn't surprise me. That would be a good. That's a good place. That's a good place to if it doesn't come in Thor, if it doesn't come in Thor, it's coming in Black Panther for sure. If they don't do it in Thor, because Black Panther's later this year, I think, right? Like Christmas. I think so.
I want to say.
I think it is. It's later this year. If it doesn't go in Thor, they may decide, because you gotta remember also she has a huge most of her following is an urban following and Black people, stuff like that. And remember, a lot of white people mad about her being the Little Mermaid. So they were mad about that being Ariel. So
get over it.
They gotta get over it. But I'm just saying, from a demographic marketing standpoint, yes, it'd be great to put it in Thor because Thor's going to get a lot of traction. But we all know that Black Panther is also going to get a lot of traction. It's going to get a whole lot of traction. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. So why not hold off and put it in there? Plus, if it's near the holidays, that's a good time to promote something like that film, because so I can see them waiting and putting it in Black Panther. But I think, if not, it'll come sooner. If it does come sooner, Thor, I don't think there's nothing else really to put it in.
I think Thor would really be it.
It's either Thor or Black Panther.
Disney coming out with.
Yeah. Thor, or because what you call it is going straight to Disney Plus, right? Pinocchio, right? I think that's coming straight to Disney Plus.
I
don't know if it's going to go in the theaters or not. And once again, dude, let's be honest. Yes, The Little Mermaid is a classic that appeals to all, but let's keep it 100 here. There was a lot of backlash of her being cast as Ariel, and a lot of people were saying she shouldn't be Ariel. However, the urban / whatever you want to call it, Black community is full support of her playing Ariel. So I would think from a marketing and demographic standpoint, something that you could still get it to the masses would be to put it in Black Panther. Put it in Black Panther. I think that would be the better move. Because it don't come out to next year or the year after, whatever, maybe next year, and
but you know what? Now I'm sitting
to
here
promote it closer to the end of the year,
right? If it doesn't, then the only other movie I see, because it is a Disney movie, would be Avatar 2. If you put it on Avatar 2,
it could go there. It could go there. When is that coming out?
That's December.
December. Okay. So yeah, Avatar 2, it can go there as well. I could see it going there. That's the only place that's the only possible places. So we'll see. But anyway, BET Awards sucks, man. Okay, it's just terrible. Puffy got a Lifetime Achievement Award. That was cool. Kanye West comes out and give it to him in full freaking I don't know whatever gear. Looked like he was about to go on a ski trip.
Dumbass gear.
He was in full ski gear, like face mask. Only thing he had was goggles. He had shades, but he had shades. He had the gloves. It looked like he was gonna leave there and go hit the slopes. That's what it looked like he was gonna do, and breathing all heavy like Michael Myers.
It ain't that.
I'm like, yo, dude. He's like, yeah, because he had the damn mask on, trying to tell. I said, what is this? I'm like, is this Kanye West or Michael Myers trying to give out this this award. He's I'm just like, yo, dude, take off the mask, bruh. You're up there on stage by yourself. You ain't wearing no mask because you don't, you ain't trying to wear your mask to not get COVID. You just wear the mask just to be a jerk, in my opinion. But anyway, here's the funny thing. Puffy is. I talked about this with my brother. I'll probably get on another, show with him at one point and talk about it. Puff Daddy has done a lot for hip hop culture, but he's also heard it a lot. Here's the question: has he contributed more than he's hurt it, or vice versa? Has he hurt the hip hop culture? Meaning, and I'm not gonna, let me rephrase that, because he hasn't hurt the culture as much as the people that are in it. The people that he the people that, as I bring Kevin, I'm gonna rephrase that. Welcome Kev. He hasn't hurt the culture as much as he's hurt the artists within the culture. So now the question you have to ask yourself is, has Puffy contributed more than what he's taken away, or vice versa, to the culture?
I'm still going to keep my answer the same. I'm still going to say yes, that he is giving more to more. Yeah, because first look at the artists that directly are around from him. If you just keep it at Mary, Jodeci, Biggie, 112, and Faith, that's pretty damn good. That's a real
that's
good.
Just that, and that's not including the other things he's done, Mace and all these other people that he's contributed to the culture. Now, here's another thing. Like I said, and really to answer that question is to say, if we erased Puffy from hip hop culture, where would hip hop be at this point? You know what I'm saying? Like, that means it's very possible that we would have never got Biggie, because so many people passed on Biggie. And people will tell you, Eric Sermon, he's one of them. Eric Sermon will tell you. Eric Sermon was like, he passed on Biggie. There was other people that passed on Biggie. Eric Sermon passed on a couple of dope, MCs. And he said,
"What's up with you, Eric Sermon?"
Yeah, right. He passed on Nas. He passed on Nas too. He said he didn't know what to do with Nas. He didn't know what to do.
That's a really good question. I'm going to sit there, and this is a tough one, but I'm going to sit there and say, if you replace Puffy, then no. Not only do you not get Biggie, I don't think you get Mary.
Well,
or
you
Faith.
Get Mary, but you don't get Mary's second album, which is some people consider one of the best albums in R&B.
No,
that was the My Life album, because he didn't discover Mary J. Blige. So, I mean, you may have still got Mary.
That's what I got.
But you wouldn't have got that My Life.
No, but that's exactly. But that's what I'm about to say. Like, you wouldn't have got Mary the way we got. You would have got Mary just as a background singer. That's what you would have got.
She would have still probably. It's very possible she still could have got her record deal. But what I'm saying is, you don't get her as we know her, because he had a big hand in that, right? You also would not have gotten.
Right.
We probably wouldn't have got. It's very possible we wouldn't have gotten Biggie at all, because he's the one that saw the vision and took the chance on Biggie. You know what I'm saying? Because people did.
Right, there would be no Biggie, there'd be no Craig Mack, no Little Kim.
Craig Mack. Well, we've got Craig Mack, because I know for the fact, I know the Joe. Rest in peace, Alvin Toney. Alvin Toney from Wyandanch. From Wyandanch, Long Island. He took Craig Mack to Puffy, right to him personally. Took it. Alvin Toney is a dude from Long Island. He was a dude from Long Island, Wyandanch, who he was like a classic middleman. He actually You know, he worked with EPMD at some point, and but he was a classic middleman. Once he had got into some industry contacts, he would bring. So he bought Craig Mack to Puffy. Yeah, I mean, he's credited for it. There's a lot of other hands involved in it because that's how it is. As you know, in this business, what people don't realize is there's so many artists that's in this business, and they're trying for years and years and years and years before they get put on. You think that it's just like an overnight success, but they've been doing it for years. You know what I'm saying? So Craig Mack was doing it for years. Alvin Toney, took a liking to him, knew him. Took him to Bad Boy, or took him to Puff, and then Puff. That was before Bad Boy even existed. He took him to Puff, and Puff was like, "I'm going to sign him when I have my label." Who's this? Doris says, "Why don't you do more reaction videos?" That's a good question, Doris. You know why? Thanks for the question. You know why we don't do them as much? Is because YouTube is real jerks about reaction videos. I've tried. I've done like the reaction videos. I'm gonna start doing some more. And the reason I would start reacting to stuff, but it's hard to do reactions to time sensitive stuff because YouTube will block it, and then you have to YouTube will block it, and then you have to appeal it. Like I'll send in the Fair Use Act and appeal it, and then like whatever, anywhere up to 30 days later, they'll finally release it. And okay, true. She said you need to be on Patreon. Good idea. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should create a Patreon. That's great idea. Thank you for that. I never really thought about it, and I've known about Patreon like since like when it first came out. I remember that, and I think I actually have an account with Patreon. I just never used it. So, wow. Yeah, I have an account with them. I'm pretty sure I did because when I was doing my comic book, and I did a couple of Comic Cons and stuff like that. I had created a Patreon around that time because I was promoting the comic book. So what she said, yeah, you guys are so good at reactions. I would sign up. That's perfect. Thank you so much. I love that. I love that.
Well,
yeah,
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Thank you, of course.
And thank you for all of the great ideas. I think it's that time to make that step and open up our Patreon, and maybe we could do reaction videos there, and people can go see them. Because like I said, doing it here on YouTube is such a chore. Like it's frustrating because I could do a really high. I remember all the way back when freaking when the Snyder Cut trailer dropped. I did a reaction video when it dropped, but it never came out because YouTube blocked it. And I was like, I did a nice reaction video. I was going crazy in it.
I saw someone they did that with the Kenobi trailer. What they did was that the crew of that show, that was the Campia show, they had everybody come behind the monitor, right? Mm-hmm. So that they could see the trailer and just reacted to it, but you didn't see the actual trailer. I think you might have, I believe you heard it, but you didn't see it. Yeah,
it's a lot of crazy. Yeah, it's a little difficult because we're in 3 different places, but it's just, I mean, come on, YouTube, just come on, y'all. Like, and I'll even do the trailer, I'll do the reaction, and I won't even monetize it. So I'm making sure we're not making money off it. I just want people to see it. I want the views. I don't even need to monetize it, and they still block it. They still block it. And so you really give good insight to what's taking place in the video.
They block it because this is
what?
This is a brown talk show, because I'm gonna stop calling us black because we're not black. We're brown.
Well, no, but a lot of people do get blocked too, though. I talk to other content creators of all different races and whatever, and a lot of times that's why you see a lot of reaction videos mostly like the real ones that get a whole lot of traction. I mean, trust me, you do still see a lot that get out there that's like immediate, but you do see a lot of them that's reacting to like older videos and stuff like that because it's not time sensitive. You know what I'm saying? So they may get blocked and still appeal it, and because just like when me and my brother, we have a show that we do called The Breakdown, and The Breakdown, we broke down a scene, one of the hypest scenes from Set It Off, and we did a breakdown of that, right? And at first, YouTube blocked it for like a few days, but then we appealed it, and then they let it go, and then it got good traction after that. But that's not a time sensitive thing. The Set It Off is an old movie, so it's just, it's tricky. But we're gonna keep trying, man. Might as well. We got some good stuff coming out.
And you know what? I will take, because I just thought about that too. I will take back what I said because with Kevin Smith and Mark Bernardin on
sometimes they probably get blocked.
No, not sometimes.
Yeah,
all the time. They be on. They be putting up stuff, and they're like literally working in the industry. I think Mark Bernardin right now is working for Disney or Marvel on a project, if I'm not mistaken. And still, Kevin Smith, he worked on he literally directed episodes of The Flash and Supergirl, and has gotten blocked for stuff.
Yeah. I mean, well, Kevin Smith. Yeah, Kevin Smith is a we know he's an industry dude. He's a good director. And he, like you said, he's written comics and all that stuff, but they block his stuff too. YouTube is wilding out. And thank you again, Doris, for that compliment. Yeah, we did the breakdown of Smoking Out the Window for Silk Sonic. That was hilarious. That was fun. But we did that one, and that one didn't I think they did give us like a little appeal or a little something, but it didn't stay. It wasn't blocked long. So it all depends, right? Because sometimes this is the process. Because there's been I'm gonna put y'all up on some game too. I've been getting pinged a lot because people have been using our stuff out there. We have there was a show we did where we showed we were talking about when Dave Chappelle had the issue with the that was when the trans people were trying to, Netflix people was trying to boycott him, trying to cancel him, whatever. And remember, I played a video from his Instagram. Now YouTube won't block that because I played it from Instagram, right? So it was a video from Instagram, but apparently I think he took it down after that. So apparently we were one of the only people that had that video, and mad people have been taking that piece of our video and putting it in their videos. So I get pinged from YouTube saying, hey, these people are what happens is you get a notification, right? If someone takes a piece of your video, or if you own the content or the copyright, whatever you want to call it, to it, and technically, yes, we don't own the copyright to Dave Chappelle's video, but we own the copyright to the video we made with it. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what they're taking because they can't find his video, so they're taking our video. You see what I'm saying? Wow. So, what happens is you get a notification from YouTube, and they say, hey, this person is using your content. Do you want to, you have the opportunity to tell them no. You could say no, they can't use it. You know what I'm saying? Or you could be right. Or you could be like, yeah, they can use it, but they can't make money off of it, right? And then there's another, they can use it, and if they make money off of it, I got to get a certain amount of money. There's 3 options that they give you, right? So that's what happens. It all depends on the content owner and how much of a jerk or what he is or she is, because if they decide to say now, and then they mess, and then YouTube will come back and say, oh, the copyright owner basically doesn't want you to use it. You know what I mean? Or they might come back and say, the copyright owner has been notified that you're using this video and you can't monetize it. You know, like stuff like that. So these are the things that ends up happening. But a lot of times when it's the big company, so if it's Disney, they're going to shut you down. They're going to say, no, don't use it. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much.
But what you can do, I think what some people do when it comes to music, if it's music that's already licensed through YouTube, I think, aren't you allowed to use that, or you can?
Well, I'm going. That's a loophole. I think India is the one who put me on to that. Shout out to India Morel over there at Dollhouse Radio. India actually gave me a little nugget about that. She put me on to that. I believe if you join, and I'm going to test it out. If you join their premium, like if we join their premium account, then you have access to like the copyrighted music that's on YouTube. So you might actually be able to use it without getting, flagged.
Hit for it, right? Because if they're streaming that music, and I believe and the videos.
Yeah.
If they're streaming that music and the videos, I think you have. Yeah, it's a wrap.
Yeah, I think. Doris says, I would love a reaction to the BET Awards. I'll give you a reaction right now, Doris.
Ooh.
Sorry. I'll just say.
There you go.
Oh, my Lord. I think right before you came into the room, Doris, I had just finished saying that I haven't sat down and watched a full BET Awards in over 10 years. Maybe closer to 20. It might be closer to 20 than 10. Like we just said, we pinpointed. I watched it because I remember they did some sort of tribute to Michael Jackson, but I think I only watched that when Michael Jackson died. I haven't sat down and watched from beginning to end of the BET Awards in a very long time. BET Awards has been awful. It's a joke now, in my opinion.
I mean,
some of the people they had this guy. I don't even know this guy's name. He's been trending, but he's like he sounded worse than Ray J sounded on the Omarion thing. This dude sounded terrible. I don't know who he was, and he's sitting there holding his ear. Like, don't try to blame it on the microphone. Don't try to blame it on the equipment. You sit there holding your ear equipment. Like you out of key because of that, because you can't hear yourself.
I like the way I like the way Brandy put it. She said, Ray J, I told you days before, I even made you a special tea for you to sip on, and I told you not to be talking,
right,
and to keep your mouth shut, and you still running your mouth. You didn't drink the tea. And you went out there sounding crazy. And
he sounded real crazy. Now she said, how is this person's name pronounced?
I'm sorry.
Giveon?
And that was the funniest part.
Giveon?
That was the funny part. Brandy
I know that's not the dude who claims to be the king of R&B, is it?
No, that's not. Nah, that's not him. That was another guy. Who was that? Who said he was? I don't think he's performed.
Bobby Brown. He's the king
No. There's someone else that was saying that, like a new guy who was calling himself that. But anyway, I can't think of his name. But yeah, now this person here that she says, I think his name is Giveon or something like that. Yo, let me tell you.
Never heard of him.
This dude. And you never want to hear of him, and you definitely don't want to hear what he sounds like, because he was on. This has been a weekend of exposure. A lot of fake singing ass were exposed this weekend, starting with the verses with Omarion,
and Mario told them. Don't come on here. Don't come on here if you ain't right. If you ain't right, don't come on here. You know Mario. I'm sorry.
Mario.
You know Mario can sing.
Yep. And he said, don't come up here if you ain't gonna be singing. And the funny thing is this. He was out there. He washed up Omarion and didn't even have to use "You Should Let Me Love You" until the very end.
Yeah.
That had me dying. I said, yo, and then what's she saying? That Diddy tribute was endless.
Yeah.
I mean, the funny thing is this, and it could have been a whole lot of other people had they showed. Mace didn't show up because him and Mace not on good terms. It'd have been nice if he would have showed up, right?
They said that Diddy tribute took 45 minutes.
That's pretty long. Really? But I mean, here it is. It's a lifetime achievement because it was a tribute between. It was, no. What I'm saying is, it was between speeches and performances. That's what it means. Like, it wasn't 45 minutes of performances. It was like between speeches.
Both, but Kanye West spoke for like 10 minutes.
Kanye was talking too damn much. Now, I liked Babyface.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Babyface had a cool story.
But the only person that deserved a tribute that damn long is Quincy Jones. Anybody else? No, you don't. Unless you die.
I think I said, I think it was just people being long-winded.
It was a combination of performances and speeches.
Yeah,
that's why. But I think Puffy deserves that. I don't.
I mean, for what we just said, for what Diddy has contributed to the culture, he definitely deserved a nice tribute. I mean, to be honest, okay, it went out about 45 minutes. Okay, fine. Like I said, I think that was just due to people being long-winded because Kanye not only has no filter, but he has no sense of time. He's not he is not going to abide by whatever time limit they give you. I guarantee you he went past. Yeah, I guarantee you he went past his time limit. I did like the Babyface story. I thought that was cool because if Andre Harrell was alive, that would have been Andre Harrell instead of Babyface telling a story.
Yeah,
we know that.
Definitely.
So
I gotta go back and watch it. I didn't see it. I just saw like bits and pieces. But
no, the Babyface tribute. He had a nice story. He tell about how Puffy, he went skiing and he invite Puffy to go skiing with him, and Puffy never skied, and he tried and he was falling down the mountain and all that stuff. But he was like, his point of telling the story was even that mountain couldn't say no to Puffy. Like Puffy wouldn't stop going back up the mountain until he was able to come down it, clean on the skis. And it's just the fact that the man doesn't take no for an answer. He never did, which is why he has been successful, in his years. Why he really did start from the bottom. He worked his way up.
Yeah,
he worked his way up.
I give him that credit. Yes.
Give him that credit. Now, this does not excuse him. It doesn't excuse him for the bad
bullshit
that he's done. Right, when it comes to jerking artists, not just Sean, just most of the artists, jerking artists and stuff like that.
Quincy jerked some artists too, but it's just ain't talked about.
Well, I mean, I'm just talking about Puffy. I'm just saying, it doesn't excuse him, but his contribution to the culture definitely outweighs what he's done. Now I know you maybe some of these cats that's been ripped off by him, you can't tell that too, but his just as a fan and as a person who lives the culture, like I said, if you erase Puffy from hip hop history,
a lot of people
we miss out on a lot.
Yeah, not to mention also, yes, he jerked some people, but he's also helped some people along the way.
I mean, he's helped some people, but he's jerked a lot of people too. I mean, but like I said, I am not. They're giving him his flowers, and he deserves it. He deserves his flowers because for his contribution to the culture.
And that's why we call them roses, because you give them the rose petals, but you also give them the thorns. Like, nigga, don't forget.
Right. Don't forget now. Now let's hope that you can you can finally grow from that and learn from that, and maybe go back and right some of those wrongs that you had, because you can always do it. You can always do it. Like I know the Locks finally got their publishing back. Finally, that's probably why they showed up.
No, but listen, the only reason why the Locks got their publishing back is because today's price is not yesterday's price.
Exactly.
That versus said, look, we are who we are. We just proved who the fuck we are. Give us our publishing. Excuse my language.
This is an interesting point, Doris. She said his contribution to the culture does not make up for the careers he ruined. Okay, that's a fair point.
No, I disagree.
It's a fair point. No, wait. No, this is why I'm not gonna say I disagree, because once again, that's from perspective, right? We can say that all we want, but the person who got their career ruined by him, it probably ain't trying to hear that, because they still sitting broke in jail or dead or wherever they are, or in whatever state of being they was in at that moment, or as a result of Puffy's actions. They don't want to hear that crap. So that's what I mean by I'm not saying that that's not my take on it, but I don't disagree with her statement, because from a certain perspective, that is a true statement. That's not my take on it. But I'm not gonna say I disagree with it, because from a certain perspective, that's probably many people. Think about the people that are still left that didn't show up to this tribute.
Wait.
Maybe they feel that way.
What I was going to say was, I think that why I disagree with that one is because when you say make up for all the careers he ruined, but how many careers owe their careers strictly to Puff Daddy? That kind of sort of outweighs the negative people that he, like I just said, you just take those five people there.
It depends on the perspective you're looking at. From a holistic perspective of just saying, from an outside perspective, saying, okay, hip hop culture, this, that, and the other. And trust me, Doris, by no means am I using his contributions to excuse what he has done. Me neither. Is no excuse for jerking people, constantly jerking different people, owning their publishing, eating off of them, even well after the fact that they've paid you back from all the money you've put out for them. They've made that money back, and you're still eating off of them where they're not even eating off of them no more. That's not right.
But you know what? But some of that, yes, he did jerk them on some occasions, but some of that too is just the contracts that they signed. You busy looking for upfront money that you didn't bother to sit down and be like, well, you know what? Maybe I could have did an administrative deal, or I should have done.
Yeah, but they don't know the business. But most of these people came in, and even Kanye said it in his speech. He was like, Puff knew about contracts before any of us knew about it. Like, he knew how contracts work before any of us knew about it. Before right? And that's the reason, right? I mean, let's face it, man. Yes, we're living now in an age of information. So people are still doing stupid contracts. But the bottom line is, these people that's just how the music. Puffy learned that firsthand from the music business, from people like people that was mentoring him and even Clive Davis and stuff like that. He learned that straight from them. All right. So just because these people are just, they sign these contracts and this, that, and the other, it still doesn't make it right. Yes. You should have read your contract. But see, in a lot of cases, even if they do read the contract, they come at them on some take it or leave it. And the bottom line is, if you feed it, you hungry, you starving, and he's got this amount of money in your face, and it's like, oh, this is what it is, or they don't explain everything. You know how many people sign them contracts? It's bad, and it's somewhat their fault too. But it's still a deception that he came into. it's still a deception that he learned firsthand from the music industry, and we all know how crazy the music industry is. That all of these cats have been doing it, from
if
Leo
that's the case,
Cohen
MC
to
Light,
Clive
Light,
Davis.
if that's the case, MC Light, the audio two of them never got jerked. They came in knowing what the business was and knowing how to set their stuff up.
But they did things a little bit differently though. They also did things a little more, not really independent, but a little, at smaller labels, stuff like that. She said he knew the business. Why not educate? Well, that's a good question. Why not educate? Why not educate people and get money?
That is not his job. It is not his job to educate.
Didn't say it's his job. It didn't say it's
that's
right.
Right.
Didn't say it's his job. No, that's
like
true.
With Ice Cube, when you know what I'm saying, when he put the card, he said, "Wait a minute, I don't understand this." I mean, Lord, he was like, "Well, if everybody else is signed, here's a check for this amount of money." Basically, he said, "I'm leaving it." That's the option that was put in front of him.
You always have an
Everybody
option.
Else has
it's either, but also Ice Cube already had a record deal before that. I'm talking about you're talking about when he went solo. You're not talking about when they were NWA, because he had to learn the hard way through NWA.
Exactly.
Right? He had to learn the hard way, and once he learned, he did not, he didn't let that happen the second time around. Sometimes
you saw what he did when they were jerked. I mean, they showed it in the movie, which I was glad they showed that. When he went back to the office, he didn't go back to the office all nice and sweet, like look, hey, listen, where's my publishing or where's my check for XYZ? You move. He went in there, tore that mother sucker up the way you supposed to. Like, look, where my money?
Right,
and
exactly.
You know what? I hate to say that on a side note, because I'm not even going to inject myself into it, because I just recently had to deal with that. Somebody being in their feelings, and they walk out the office talking about, I ain't gonna pay you today. What? Believe the next time they came back in the office, I walked back in the office like, fuck is my money at? Excuse my language.
Yeah,
you don't play with me.
Yeah, you don't play with people. Don't play with people's paper, man. But see, this is the thing. The bottom line is this: it all depends on the type of person you are. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe one of the reasons why I haven't become this big mogul yet. I used to be in the music business, stuff like that. I'm built a certain type of way. I'm a certain type of person, and there's certain things, there's certain lines I will not cross. It's just that plain and simple. Maybe I'm not that type of person to be a shark. I'm not a shark. You know what I'm saying? So Diddy is a type of person that did not have a problem being a shark, and that's why he's a billionaire or whatever. That's why he is where he is, because he, certain things. I feel there's also people that have done it that didn't have to do that and still became, where they wanted to be in their career. I'm one of those people. I don't have a problem educating. I'm on the film side of things. I have no problem. Almost every actor that has worked with me, every person who's worked under me, if I'm directing or producing a film, whatever. I don't mind educated people, even clients that's hired me to do things. I don't, because that's just in my nature. I have a nurture gene, so it's in my nature to teach people, right? So I don't have a problem doing that. But a lot of, I've been told many times that is a downfall of mine. People, saying in business you shouldn't be doing that because blah 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 blah. I get it. I'm not saying that I don't understand it. I'm just saying maybe I'm just not built that way, and I feel there's other ways of doing it because people have proved it. So Puffy, to answer your question, Doris, I think Puffy wasn't gonna. Yes, he could have educated, because anybody could have. Now he wasn't gonna educate right away because he was still learning. He was still learning himself, because he was on the come up and he was doing this, he was doing that, and he was moving. Once he started making, once Mary J. Blige really hit, that really sent Puffy on his way. And then he started learning and hanging with these other moguls and learning from Clive Davis, learning from Andre Harrell, learning from L.A. and Babyface, learning from all these people that were like above him. And that's what he was doing. So he learned the industry way. So, that's how he's going to approach things. Unfortunately, You know what I mean? And I tell you right now, the funny thing is, most of the artists that Puffy ended up signing, the only time we never heard about Biggie's contract either being good or bad or in between. But other than that, other than his contract, almost everybody Puffy dealt with pretty much didn't have a great contract or whatever the case may be. And but Mace's contract was decent. The way he was doing things.
Biggie was getting ready to leave him and take Junior Mafia and all of them with him.
Yeah, of course. I think Biggie probably had like a certain time where his contract would have been up, and he was like fulfilled or whatever. That's why a lot of people talk about the same thing with Pac. Pac had fulfilled. Why everyone thought that? I mean, don't get me wrong. Pac was a workaholic, but let's not get it twisted. Pac was trying to fulfill his Death Row contract. That's why he was making.
They cashed him out for that $1 million. So
right.
He had to put that work in, and he did exactly.
He was doing all right. He was doing all that work, not just because he's a workaholic, but because he had a bigger vision. He had no plans to be on death row the rest of his career. He had other things he wanted to do, and he was going to fulfill his death row contract.
I don't think he was even going to stop. I don't think he was going to even keep doing music. I think he was going to go strictly into movies. He was definitely
going when Gridlock came out. He was definitely about to turn the corner on the movie side of things and really go hard with the movies. He was definitely going to do that, but if he fulfilled his obligation to Death Row, that's why Death Row offered him his own label, because they didn't want him to leave. They offered him Death Row East, where he would be able to put a bunch of East Coast rappers on.
But it's still he would have still been going back to Interscope. That's all they wanted.
Right, that's all they wanted. They wanted to be coming back to Interscope and stuff like that. So Pac probably would, because Pac had, as we all know, we know a lot of people that knew Pac. You know what I mean? We know a lot of people that have mutual, relationship with Pac. And Pac had a lot of things going, man. Pac had a lot of things with a lot of people and a lot of plans with a lot of people, and he was going to follow through on it with them, but it didn't work. He didn't make it. So, but yeah, as far as BET Awards go, though, once again,
Wes, not to cut you short, I just wanted to say one thing about Puffy before we get on the subject. He's going to have, because he hasn't had it yet, because he's still peaking with his career and doing his different things he's doing. He's going to have his Prince moment, and when he does, hopefully he does, he'll go back and right those wrongs. And
he needs to have it soon. And the nigga been in the business for a long time. He's over 50. And where are you gonna start? When you go Prince hit that mode when he hit like 50 and a little bit after. A little bit.
Saying is, I don't mean just peaked and I don't mean peaked as far as in age and his time in the industry. I mean his accomplishments. I mean, he's still trying to do stuff. I mean, secretly, dude probably still wants to have his own football team. So he's Ralph, wrong answer. That's right now, Steven Spielberg's wife is on the Broncos. So listen, eventually it will happen.
Wait. Yeah, first off, that's George Lucas's wife, but George Lucas's wife
I said the wrong person.
Is the head of something serious. But I'm saying is that she's the head of something serious. She's not going in there by herself. She actually is the CEO of a company.
Well, none of them gonna do it by themselves. None of them's gonna go into it by themselves.
Nobody's gonna do it themselves unless you're Elon Musk or something like that, where your money is like that to do it. Then you can go in there by yourself. But see, there's a strategic thing about putting yourself in place as a owner, as a part owner, and then as you grow, you start to buy people out of their piece. As your money grows, you buy people out of their piece.
Yeah, Magic does it. Magic. They usually do it as a group. Right,
the Williams sisters are part of the Dolphins.
Right, yeah. They're part owners of the Dolphins, Williams sisters. So I mean, it's definitely doable stuff to do, but it all depends. Like I said, man, I think this is what I think Puff should do. It's just my opinion. It has nothing to do with whatever. Obviously, the man does what he wants. This guy knows what he's doing, right? It would be nice because I remember he talked about starting. I think he said he's restarting an R&B label, a label that's gonna be strictly R&B and stuff like that. Because he's thinking about trying to bring R&B back, which would be awesome, right? Like really bring it back.
Thank God. I wish somebody did it.
Would be nice if he did it. He's one of the guys that could do it, right? If he really put his mind to it. But I think what you need to do is, once again, you need to make sure some of these R&B acts that you kind of had some things
Left
with,
over.
You go right those wrongs first and foremost, and sign them to your R&B label, and then go back, and if you want to look for new talent or whatever the case may be, right your wrongs, bruh. Right your wrongs. Start your R&B label, and that would be awesome. I mean, first of all, I know right where you can start with, bruh. New Edition. Why don't you start with New Edition? Give them whatever rights that you own, because they don't do those songs no more, so he must own that publishing. They don't do those. They will not perform the song that You're Gonna Get Hot Tonight. They will not perform that song. They don't perform any of the songs that
that's my joint.
Yeah, they won't perform.
That song was my joint. That song was hot.
That tells me that Puffy owns that publishing. So start with New Edition, bruh. Because first of all, you already, you call yourself coming out, trying to come back and out with New Edition and all that other stuff. And you still obviously didn't do right by them. And it's done, they're to the point where I'm starting to start to not feel sorry for them no more, because they've been getting jerked all their lives and still get jerked in record deals. So I'm starting to not feel sorry for them anymore. At some point, you got to start saying, "Look, cats,
come on, fellas.
You still got to give credit.
Put the Jerry curl juice down. Come on, fellas.
To Ralph and Johnny Gill for buying, or whoever it was.
It was Ralph and Johnny that they went and bought the copyright, the trademark to the name New Edition. No, I know that, but what I'm saying is, whatever they had doing with Puff. They thought it was going to be this great little thing, and Puff back with New Edition, but he obviously had a terrible deal with them as well, because like I said, they walked away from that deal. Only thing he did was let them out their contract, probably, or maybe they did a short-term contract with him, but they walked away with that, and they don't perform those songs. So that means he owns that publishing. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but in retrospect, if you're New Edition, you got that real deep catalog. If this guy owns a publishing to one album, and it wasn't even a good seller at all. I mean, not to say what's right is right, what's wrong, but do you really care? Because if I can't do Hot Tonight, I damn sure can do Cool It Now.
No, you're missing my point, though. You're missing my point. You should not have to ever work and record an album and not be able to perform it.
When
you go out to perform.
I agree with
the album did. That's work that you did. You worked on that, and you should never, ever feel like you can't perform a song that you recorded. That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't matter what the album did. It doesn't matter if it's not one of their favorite songs or even one of their best songs, right? The fact of the matter is, it was that particular song. People did like it. It was a cool song. I liked it. I really do like it. Yeah, I really do like the song, but they don't perform it, and they won't perform it. That tells you, and they already have said in interviews that that the whole Puff thing fell through. That's all they say. They taking the high road. They're being classy about it. They're not trying to be messy about it, but they're letting you know Puff screwed them over. You know what I'm saying? The deal didn't go the way they thought it would go.
But I'll tell you this much. You know how you fix that? Right. What you do is, if it's one or two things that'll help fix that to correct them.
Yeah.
One, they can go at Puffy right now while he's in the middle of all of this praise.
Yeah.
And take advantage of it, because he's not going to want any negative press. So if he could just give them back their publishing, even if it's for a small fee, and they come together and buy it back and buy their publishing, so that way they perform those songs, or really put Puff in a bad situation and get signed onto a Versus.
Right.
And then that'll set up a whole new tour, especially if they are, or if, let's just say, they're doing the residency.
Yeah, they're doing that residency. So I don't think they do any more tours because they got that residency coming up. That's where they're gonna really. There's their opportunity to really get in their bag. Yeah, that's their opportunity to really get in their bag and be able. Okay, now we good. We're really finally good. You know what I'm saying?
The Versus thing, I don't know about the Versus.
Versus does set up tours. Everyone who does Versus now. No. I mean, right. We talked about that. It's very hard to put up somebody against
someone
them.
Up against them.
Yeah, it's very tough.
That's the problem.
To put a group up against them in a Versus.
It's not a problem. You could find something that would make. It just has to make sense. It can't just.
It's hard to find something that makes sense.
It's hard
because
to
of
find
all
somebody
of their longevity. You know what I'm saying? It's like putting a. You know, well, then again, I can't use the Temptations because there was a lot of groups out when the Temptations was out. But the Temptations had they kind of had more longevity than most of the groups that came out when they came out, right? So it'd be kind of hard to put the Temptations against
the OJs,
you know, anybody, you know, maybe the
Isley
OJs, but they had longer careers than them. You know
the Isley brothers. The Isley brothers.
Maybe the Isleys, you know, that would be nice. As she said, I think the residency starts in November. Yeah, it does. I think it does as well. Starts in November, the residency. That's where they get their money.
If that thing is going to be in Las Vegas, I'm going to Las Vegas in January. I don't care what I'm doing. I'm going to the residency. I don't care.
Gotta go to that.
I don't care what's going on that day.
Yeah. I might even make a trip to Vegas just to go because I'm planning a West Coast trip anyway, and I'm definitely going to be going over there. And when I go to the West Coast, I'm going to go to Vegas. So, and it'll be after November. So, yeah, I would definitely go check them out because they can probably do that residency for a good couple years, probably.
And it's going to be in Las Vegas. I'm saying I had told Vinny. Me and Vinny was talking to me. I said, Vinny, you guys need to do that residency out in Las Vegas. You know, anybody need to do a residency in Las Vegas. And not for the reason that you guys are connected to so many other people. You literally could do 30 days in there and have you could do one day you're doing it with Salt and Pepper. You could do one day you're doing it with MC. You could just keep doing it with your friends, you know?
Right.
And it puts some money in people's pockets. It revitalizes your old catalog. Right. It does so many things. So they were looking into doing a residency in Las Vegas, a hip hop residency in Las Vegas. I think it's a damn good idea.
That stuff is always a smart thing to do because when you got timeless classics like they do, you could pull that off and people will come see you. You know, but you don't think people will be walking through Vegas and be like, "Oh, Naughty by Nature, yeah, let's go check them out." You know,
they will, but here's the downside.
And they put on a good show because Tretch can perform.
Yes, they do.
Tretch is a really good performer.
But here's the thing: that's all true and well said and done. But the thing that's probably going to be the insurances are probably going to be high for that.
Nope, not for that.
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because not recently, but during the pandemic, niggas was down in Vegas tearing Vegas up between the car rental companies and the exotic car rental companies, which is their own fault for that. I'm not even going to get into that part, but it's just the issue of that. Hopefully,
Yeah, I mean the whole thing. Right. I mean, a lot of places are gonna wanna. Everyone automatically, when it comes to hip hop, there's a situation. They always talk about it, and it's a. Sometimes you got to get extra insurances for it. Even with me, like when I go get production insurance, one of the first questions they ask me is, "Am I shooting a hip hop video?" That's one of the first questions that you ask. And if you're shooting a hip hop video, it's more money. So it's like, some of them there's one insurance company that I use for production insurance. If you're shooting a hip hop music video, they don't give you insurance. They deny you. So it's like, oh,
Wow.
like you go click it. Are you doing a hip hop video? Yes. They're like, sorry, we can't offer you insurance for this thing. Then I got to go back and refresh it. Are you doing a hip hop video? No. And then it's like, okay, I can get insurance now. But that's the whole thing. But honestly, it really doesn't work for me, because if I get insurance and I am shooting a hip hop video and something happens, I can't use it because they don't give insurance for hip hop videos. So if I say no just to get the insurance, and then I shoot the video and a camera breaks while I'm shooting it, I can't even replace that camera or get it, pay the deductible and replace that camera, because they'll be like, oh, you have to give detail about your production. Once you give the detail and they find out it's a hip hop video, they're not going to cover it. So, but yeah, that happens. Hip hop itself is considered by the masses a liability, right? An extra liability.
Meanwhile, rock cool and good to go.
Yeah, exactly.
They
So they go. They're
probably
like, I don't care.
Violent shit than hip hop could ever do.
Yeah, I mean, hell. Remember a few months ago, we had the girl who pissed in the guy's mouth on stage.
Yeah.
Even that's not considered violent, but that's just vile. And I mean, he let her do it, but I'm just saying, idiot. But anyway, yeah. So I would be, hey, I'm gonna pray for them and hope that they are able to get it. But it might be tough, because if it was that easy, there'd be a lot of hip hop acts doing it.
Listen,
there'd be a lot of hip hop acts doing residence.
Well, I know he's not hip hop, but Usher.
He's not hip hop. Usher is an R&B artist.
He's
R&B pop. He's an R&B / pop artist, because remember his last few albums, he was doing a lot of that stuff crossed over, like a lot of that stuff he was doing. So he, Usher's gonna get it. Any
when I was out in
singer,
Vegas
a singer's gonna get it. Yeah, a singer is going to get it, but a rapper is tough.
When I was out in but when I was in Vegas in March, I was having dinner in Caesars, and I guess the guys next to me were like executives, and I remember them saying that because they're the ones that have Usher. They were saying they were thinking about residency. Like, what about Jay-Z? Would Jay-Z be interested in doing a residency?
Jay-Z is a different type of animal.
I was like,
comes to a rapper. Yes, I don't know if Jay would do it, but that would be dope. If he did it, he'd make a crap ton of money. He
would get it because of the audience he would draw.
Yeah,
is a violent audience, and it would be.
Yeah, he would draw A-listers coming to his concert. His tickets, those tickets down the floor tickets will be selling for thousands of dollars.
Yeah, and also the majority of his crowd is going to be a white crowd, and can't nobody tell me different.
Yeah.
I've been to 8 different JC.
Yeah, I agree with that part.
Yeah. Most definitely.
I absolutely agree with the part. It's going to be a white crowd.
He's going to draw a white crowd, and because of who he is now, he'll also draw a more mature crowd too. You know what I'm saying? He'll draw more mature. He's going to draw people from our generation, Generation X. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be drawing people from our generation, and he's going to be drawing, and then the younger people. There'll be some people, younger people too. But he will have a huge white crowd, and the whole floor, the entire floor will be probably celebrities.
It'd be like going to Laker.
Yeah, it'd be like going to a Laker. It's going to be celebrities, actors, all the people that he's. Remember, Jay-Z runs in a whole different circle now. He runs in a circle of billionaire boat moguls, and he's running with Jack Dorsey and people like that. Like he runs with a whole nother circle now. So those floor seats will be sold out every show, and they'll all be, like you said, it'll be like freaking who's who.
It'll be an upper level demographic. And also, the smart thing that Jay-Z does, he does no interviews. So all that negative content that most rappers be spewing, like when they be spewing the secrets of their past, unfortunately, when you talk about past shit that you've done, for black people, they're like, okay, cool, we know who you are now, so we ain't worried about it. But insurance companies and the quote unquote white establishments are going to be like, yo, that's who you were. That man is still on the inside. So we can't take a chance on anything going crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine what the insurance had to be for the Dipset locks, or for that, for the whatchamacallit, the two rappers that didn't get along, and they ended up making peace with each other.
Was it Gucci Mane and whoever else?
Yeah, Gucci Mane and what's his face? God damn it, his face, but I can't. Who was it?
Yeah.
Two people that don't matter. That's who it was.
No, well, I mean, in hip hop, they don't matter to you, Ralph. They matter in hip hop, especially to this generation.
Generation. What the hell? They're two mid-age.
I'm not fans of either of them, but I don't remember who it was. It was Gucci Mane and somebody, I think, is what you're talking about. But
Young Thug? I think it was Young Thug. Gucci Mane and Young Thug.
Maybe. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I definitely didn't watch it, and I don't know, but regardless, no,
was it Mike Jones?
No, it wasn't Mike Jones. But anyway,
it was Young Thug, because Young Thug came up in the late 2000s when Young Thug and Gucci Mane came out. They were the 2000s. So
I guess. But I don't know. Honestly, yeah.
So I know the insurance for them had to be crazy.
Well, I mean, at some point, yeah, probably, yeah. But like I said, they hold them, they hold them in those venues, but yeah, Jay-Z would make sense as a residency. People like Jay-Z, Nas, like these are all rappers that are, they're all classic rappers now, and they're gonna draw a certain type of crowd. So yes, they will definitely take them doing residencies.
Take them. They would take Eminem. They would even take 50 Cent because of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But now,
no.
Yes, yes. You're Ralph again. You're wrong. If you think 50 Cent would not be able to get along, he wouldn't do it right now. But if you think that he wouldn't be able to get a Las Vegas residency if he wasn't doing nothing else, and he decided to do that, yeah, he would definitely get it.
He made it do it because number one, like you would just like the advice you gave Naughty by Nature, he'd be bringing all his friends. He'd bring Eminem. He'd bring Dre. He'd bring, you know what I'm saying? He'd have them come in guest star and stuff like that in there. So yeah, he'd be able to do it. 50 is another one who rolls with a whole different type of crowd now.
Comes out to Vegas. He does show at this place that they called Dreas Day Club. I'm sorry, it's called Dreas. I think it's called Dreas Day Club. He goes. I know a friend of mine that's always out rocking out with him and stuff. I mean, yeah, but I don't know if it.
Remember, Jay, I could see Jay doing it for the heck of it because shoot, Jay likes it. Remember, he used to have a 40-40 out in Vegas. You know what I mean? Yeah. He had a 40-40 out there, so I could see shoot. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's. Well, I don't know if he'll do it, but I can see him doing it, and I can see. Trust me, before long, Beyonce gonna do it probably. Once she do it, she gonna go there and make it.
I think if Jay-Z did it, that would be the question. Why people would go see like, is Jay gonna bring Beyonce with him?
Of course he would. Everyone would know. And all it takes is one show getting out that he brought her out, and then everybody's showing up to that show. You know what I mean? But she can get her own. You know, she can get her own without a question. But you know, sometimes it all depends on your frame of mind there. Like just like how I told you how Chris Brown said, yo, that's just how Chris Brown feels, man. Chris Brown feels that, you know, if he does a versus now, he just don't feel like, you know, he feels like he gotta wait till he almost washed to do it. he try to wait till he feel he washed. So if he don't feel he washed, he ain't gonna do verses.
Not until he's washed. The only person he feels that can really stand up against him is Usher.
It's Usher, yeah, that's it. And he even said that. That's the only one that makes sense. Is Usher.
Yeah.
That would only make sense. Everyone else wouldn't. I don't think it would really be a situation. He'd probably wash almost everybody else that come up against him. He ain't washing Usher. It'd be a good one. It'd be tight.
You can get 10 of those boy band groups from the 2000s.
Yeah, he'll wash them all up. But yeah. So that's what. You know, I saw something on you know, since we talk about, you know, Obi-Wan had the finale. I saw something that one of these sites put up there. They said, here's the top 10 Star Wars lightsaber fights. That's including all the movies, the shows, and everything. And they said the top 10 best lightsaber fights in Star Wars. So they have, I guess this is number 10. I guess they're counting down from 10. So they have here Luke versus Darth Vader in Empire Strikes Back. So that was their it says Luke versus Darth Vader, Empire Strikes Back, right? Then they have what else? Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace. So I guess that's number 9.
That need to be higher.
Yeah. Then Obi-Wan versus Anakin, Revenge of the Sith. That's number, I guess,
that needs
8
to be higher.
Then they got where is this? This site. I hate this site. It just takes forever to load. It pisses me off. It's one of these sites, not no like big site, but it had the stuff there. Let's see. Damn, I'm gonna have to wait till the site loads again now. But yeah, they had that. I know they had somewhere, I think in the top 5, they had Luke and Darth from Return of the Jedi. Let's see if I can get this thing to work again. It's just piss me off here. Come on, guys, let's go. Load up site. Okay, let's see if it works this time. Yeah, I'll let it get with its own thing. But anyway, yeah, I agree with you. I think first of all, the Duel of the Fates is one of the best fights ever. You know, with Obi-Wan and Anakin, that fight was crazy. First of all, it was long as hell. That was a long fight. That first, you know, from Revenge of the Sith, Duel of the Fates, right? That was great. And like I said, I was loving it because, you know, after watching the older films, you got a chance to really see them go crazy with the lightsaber fighting, you know, and that's what was so great about it. I know they had in the top 5 the Kylo Ren and Rey. I don't know if it was the one where they were fighting each other in the I think it was the one they were fighting each other in the woods or whatever. That was a nice mixture of force, power, and lightsaber fighting. That was pretty. Yeah, they had that up pretty high, you know, like in the top 5 or something like that. But then there was a couple of fights they had in there. They had Ahsoka and somebody from the Clone Wars. That might have been Ahsoka.
Darth Maul? or Prentice.
Maybe Darth Maul. Yeah, it might have been Darth Maul and Ahsoka fight. I think that was in. I want to say that was in the Clone Wars.
That was in Rebels. Yeah, it was in Clone Wars. Hell,
Yeah.
Ahsoka and Vader in Rebels was like.
Yeah, Ahsoka and Vader in Rebels was pretty good. It was a little short though. Not short, but short.
I keep saying the guy showed up to fight on a TIE fighter. He stood on top of a TIE fighter and said, "What you gonna do?"
Yeah.
like damn.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. Let's get to some of these other topics. Okay. So they're remaking The Lost Boys. We brought this up once again when they first talked about it. Why? I don't know why. But so they're doing a remake to The Lost
Warner Brothers,
Boys.
right? But it's Warner Brothers, right?
It probably is, yeah. Speaking of Warner Brothers, you know Warner Brothers.
That's all you got to say.
Warner Brothers on the brink.
All you got to say.
Warner Brothers on the brink, and Ezra Miller, he's showing you exactly how to kill a brand, because they got so many. They had allegedly so many things lined up that's going to spin off of this Flash movie that they're starting to now kill. You know, that they're starting to say, you know what, we're not even going to do it.
It's called karma. You fucked with Zack Snyder, and now the universe is messing with you back.
And no, but it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that, Kev, because they trying to make good on it. Now all of a sudden, the Snyder Cut is about to be available for digital release. Oh my goodness! They probably like, listen, we need to get right. We need to get right with the heavens, with the universe. Let's release this.
It's already available for digital release. I got it.
It was on HBO Max, but they like gonna release it like what you call it?
The physical copy and digital.
I guess physical.
Yeah,
you got physical?
Yeah, I got
Maybe
it like
they got
last.
Well, you got it on Blu-ray or whatever.
October. Yeah,
It's been out for months. A Batman versus Superman Snyder Cut.
Snyder Cut. Yeah. I just read something about that. But anyway, they're doing some sort of news that happened with the Snyder Cut that they're releasing or something.
Now, if you said they were putting the Snyder Cut into the theater, I'd be like, no, then.
That might be next. That might be next. So the Lost Boys movie.
You know what? That makes sense, because they were talking about re-releasing. They were talking about the release date for the Flash movie, like in March, like March 23rd or something like that of next year.
Well, they also said that it's been in talks, not even been in talks, that they pretty much decided that they're going to release the Flash on HBO Max. They may not even put it in the theaters, depending on, unless this stuff blows over with Ezra Miller and he lays low and it kind of blows over, they may not even put it in theaters. They might just put it straight to HBO Max.
That's not happening. He is not going to lay low.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care.
Lay low.
But they better, if they gonna do that Snyder Cut, they better release it in theater. Boy, if they put the Snyder Cut in theaters and that thing breaks $1 billion, you know what? That's gonna make them look so stupid.
Well, first of all, if they put the Snyder Cut in theaters, they gotta put it in IMAX, because I think he shot it with an IMAX camera.
IMAX camera, yes.
Yeah. They'd have to put that at IMAX, man, because he shot it with the intentions of it being an IMAX,
But they show it. They're gonna show it on regular. They're gonna show it on IMAX screens and regular screens.
Yeah, they would.
These screens, you'll see Dolby, Regal's RPX. It's still gonna show. It's gonna show on 4DX.
My thing is this, man, about the remakes again. When is Hollywood going to finally throw in the white white flag, the white towel, whatever the hell you want to call it, wave the white flag?
Never.
when are they going to do this?
Never. Here's
Have
why.
they not learned?
Wes,
yet?
It's called a business model, and they're going to continue to try to make the business model work for every generation until they get the formula right on how to make it work for every different generation. We need to figure out how to make this work for certain movies, and certain movies are going to flop, and certain movies like Maverick are going to pass the test and keep on moving.
Yeah, I know.
It's a business model thing. I
don't know why it's a business model though, because how do you keep making it a business model when it's clearly doesn't work? I mean, these remakes.
But here's why: because it worked once.
Because it worked once.
Because it worked once. Like in the game, like let's just use an example. Salem's Lot worked once.
Right. And that's funny you said that because they're remaking that too.
Series, and then it worked again as a small movie, so they're gonna do it again.
Yeah, and they're remaking that as well.
Oh, it's gonna be more scary. We're gonna stop taking. You know what? Stop taking jabs at Twilight. It makes you look stupid. First and foremost.
Yeah, that's kind of funny though. Hey, we're gonna make vampires scary again. Vampires has been kind of sparkly.
But here's the thing.
He said vampires has been kind of sparkly and glamorous.
But here's the thing though. Outside of Twilight, when has a vampire been sparkly?
But like I said, they're definitely just taking the shot at Twilight. But I haven't seen a scary vampire movie in a long time.
Well, that's kind of true, with the exception of not Dusk Till Dawn.
I haven't seen a scary vampire.
I mean, I don't know if I would count True Blood, but they made the vampires in True Blood kind of scary to a degree.
Right. They weren't so like they weren't glamorous. They definitely wasn't glamorous. They were all like white trash, old Southern.
What's the name with James? That one was.
Well, I mean that's that's vampires. John Carpenter's vampires. Yeah. But that's way before, Twilight. I'm saying since Twilight, I haven't seen. I mean, Twilight wasn't scary either. But I'm just saying. I guess what they're trying to say is, including Twilight.
I did see one. I did see one. This movie called Byzantium with what's the girl? The girl she was in Hansel and Gretel. She played Gretel, but it was a vampire movie, and that one was a little scary, but not. It was more like jump scares, but that was about it. And it was like a small little film that I caught one night on TV on Showtime or something.
They said, yeah. Talk says, Lost Boys super class. Yeah, it is. But do you here? I posed the question to you. Do you think you said Lost Boys super classic? Do you think it needs a remake?
No,
because they're giving one. I mean, what? Lost Boys is one of those films that did make vampire. That was back when they did make vampires. It was scary. They were scary. The part when you seen them. So, I mean, that whole scene. First of all, like, where you going? Like, how you remaking that scene when he says, "Initiation's over, Michael. Time to join the club," and that's when they show him, and they all reveal that they're vampires. Like, yo, that had me. Yeah, I agree with you. He said, nah. He's like, nah. I agree with you. Bram Stoker's, yes, exactly. Joseph, yes. Bram Stoker's Dracula was done great, but I'm just saying. But that was way before. I guess what they're talking about is, as we see the post Twilight and up and including Twilight. That's what they're talking about, basically. But vampire movies hasn't really been scary anymore. They was like, I was scared of Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah, well, they all were scary in that movie, man. They were all, they all looked real. When they turned the vampires, man, they looked bad. I was like, yo, my man said, there was so many great moments in that movie, so many one-liners. Like I said, now you know what you are. Now you know what we are. Now you know what you are. You never grow old, Michael, and you'll never die, but you must feed. Straight up. Like, yo, that movie was great. You know me with my movie quotes. I got plenty of them from that movie. So, but yeah, that why are we doing it? So just on that's a perfect, on a segue to the Salem's Lot remake. Now, Salem's Lot, surprisingly, and the funny thing is, a lot of people forget, because I forgot myself. The one back in the 80s or whatever, actually that was 79. That was a television. That was television. It wasn't a TV show, but it was a TV movie. It was a movie.
The TV.
On
it was on network
TV. Yeah. Forgot all about, because it was still scary as hell to me, because it was just creepy.
He looked in that window and landed on the floor of the kitchen.
Nah, man. Oh, that was scary. Yeah, that was no. What did it for me was open the window, Mark. Open the window. When the brother was floating outside the window, I said, "Oh no!"
That scratching and tapping on the window.
Oh,
when you go back and watch that film and you listen to there's certain parts in the scene in the movie where all you hear is the tapping.
Yeah, it's very creepy. Actually, me and my brother did a breakdown of the 10 of our scariest moments in film, and that was one of mine. That was on my list. That was one of the creepiest, terrifying moments. That's what it was. We didn't say scariest, but like we said, most terrifying moments in films, and horror films. And that was, to me, one of the most terrifying moments when he was floating out that in front of that window. I was like, oh my God, that was so. Both times, the time where he actually bit the brother, because you had the other brother that was out there, and then he let him in, and then he bit him, and then you had the one where he tried to get the friend. That's when he said, "Open the window, Mark," and you're like, he's like, no, and he put the cross to the window. That was so creepy.
The lady in the mall. When they broke out that when dude made the cross on sight or whatever it was they pulled out and put it on that chicken head, I was like, yo, this movie is for real. Like,
yeah, yo, they did that. I was like, yo, this is TV. And like you said, when Barlow jumped through the window and you couldn't really see, like he just saw like a ball of black cape, and then he rises up and you see it was, oh my God! Like, first of all, he looked like the Nosferatu.
He looked just like Nosferatu.
He looked like Nosferatu. So that is, I mean, I want to share the screen just to show his face, even though they got him. They was they taking shots at Twilight, so they got him next to the sparkly vampire. But anyway, look at that, man. That is gruesome. That give you nightmares, man.
Yeah,
like that will give you nightmares.
And that comparison to the sparkly shit too. You know who else I blame for that? I blame what's her face, Mary, whatever the hell her name is. The chick from the chick who made up Queen of the Dam.
Oh, Anne Rice. You talking
Anne Rice. I blame her bullshit.
Anne Rice, but that wasn't sparkly there, but they were all like,
No, but they were all preachy and fuck it. I'm just gonna say they were gay.
Wow. Tell her what you really think.
I'm not trying to be facetious.
That's who.
I'm not trying to be facetious when I say that. They because those vampires were like they because even Brian Lumley when he talked about vampires, he talked about them being the same way, like they were bisexual. They weren't just, but the way Anne Rice made them look, with the ruffle looking like Prince, with the ruffle sleeve, and
Shirts
God
versus
bless the dead.
blouses.
God
Shirts
bless the
versus
dead.
blouses. Yeah,
But yeah, so it started with Anne Rice and that, and then they flip, and then what
yeah. Well, what? We already know that chick who wrote the Twilight. I mean, she wrote that for young adults, stuff like that. So she made the story way softer and this and that, and it had to be more appealing to those people. That's why it did so well and stuff like that. But I mean, let's not forget what her core demographic was from the beginning. So that's what she wanted to do. So you couldn't have had young adults looking at someone that looks like Barlow. You know what I'm saying? That they wouldn't have went for that. You know what I mean? So she was smart in that aspect. But yeah, I do agree. Let's get back to scary. Let's get back to having vampires scary again. Let's try that. But I don't know if it. Why don't you just try with something new? Why are you remaking?
I'm gonna be honest with you. The only reason I'm just gonna say yes to a remake of Cell's Lot, I'm not cool with remaking
because it never went to the movies, right?
Exactly. It's the same.
That's my same reason.
Scenario. It's the same scenario with it. Like that TV miniseries is scary.
Yeah.
But the theatrical movie is fucking terrifying. At least chapter 1. Chapter 1 is terrifying. Chapter 2 was okay, but chapter 1 is just terrifying. Right. So if you're gonna make it like that, you're gonna have to make it as scary as a TV show, but now because you're a theatrical, you're gonna have to up the wattage a little bit.
Up the ante, yeah. You got up the ante, yeah. You definitely have to. I agree. Gotta up the ante, and you got to, and I believe that they could, we'll see.
They would have got James Wan to do it.
Yeah, yeah. Either James Wan or I would even trust.
No, I don't even know if I
would even trust. But no, the dude who's doing this is who's the guy that's doing this? I want give me a second. I just read it too. The remake. But I would trust Wan, or I would also trust Blumhouse. I would trust Jason Blum if he did it. Director Gary Doberman, he did the Annabelle Comes Home.
Mm-hmm.
He did that. Annabelle Comes Home. That was the movie he directed. So I mean, he's a horror director, so that's good.
Looks like he wrote all the Annabelle movies.
Yeah. So there you go. So at least he's a seasoned horror guy.
Mm-hmm.
So they did say, now when you start looking at stuff like that, you start thinking, hey, okay, let's see now. Let's see what he can bring to it. Because he said he has right there, he says talk about scary for 2 reasons, because it's Stephen King and the legacy is strong for a reason. And he says, and then also the material. Salem's Lot is just one of the coolest books, and I think there's a reason why it hasn't been made into a feature. Right?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because people understand that if that needs to be done, that has to be done right. And you can't beat if you can't beat the original that was done as a TV show. Don't get me wrong, the other 2 were good, but they weren't the original TV show.
But the TV movie. So then he continues and says it's been made into these 2-part series, but it's such a long book. It's hard to condense that into a feature-length film.
And here's the thing: why condense it?
Right. And he said, but Gary Doberman has really tapped into the vein of this genre. And he said it feels like he has liberty to play with it a little bit, and reinvent it, if you will.
Well, here it is. That was see. What did you just repeat? What you just said, Wes?
He has the liberty to play with it and reinvent it.
That means the spirits have told him
the play with part.
Come on set and help you out.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's see.
Let's
see what he does.
I don't like the way that sounds. The play with it. If you're gonna, because I'm quite the TV show, there were things in the TV miniseries. There were parts of the book that were not on the TV. So I'm going to play with it to expand it, but don't change the narrative of the film. It has to be better than first one. That's why I liked, like I said, chapter 1 of it. I love chapter 1 of it. Chapter 1 of it is terrifying, right? Chapter 2 kind of fades itself out towards the end. There are parts of it that's scary, but realistically speaking, all the real good stuff is in part 1. You know, and
chapter 2 was long as hell, and they took my damn car from the damn movie theater parking lot because I sat there and waited to watch all of part 2 of shitty ass It, and it was trash. And they took
that's that now. So now the truth emerges why Kevin hates this movie. The truth emerges why Kevin hates this movie so much. Because he had a terrible experience watching it.
They towed my car, and the movie was trash. The movie is not trash.
That happened to me one. That happened to me.
They booted my car, so I couldn't even fucking leave.
Couldn't even leave. You were stuck there. Well, it'll be interesting to see what they do with this, remake, whatever. I mean, I'm just so tired of them. Before anything,
I gotta ask you guys a question because, like, I'm in this movie chat room on Facebook, right? And I had to pull up. I had a guy in here. Yes, some guy in here says this, and this is directly what he says. He says, after watching Kenobi, he says, Rogue One and Obi-Wan did more for Star Wars than any of the previous films. I strongly believe that Star Wars should have been rebooted in 2015 instead of being continued. So I responded, I was like, no, Star Wars doesn't. Yeah, he wants to reboot. He said what he said was that he liked to see the story told from a fresh pair of eyes. And I said, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard. Like, it doesn't need to reboot it. You need to expand the world.
Yeah.
Don't just keep it away from the Skywalkers. Because even though you have this war going on, and in 2 and 3, 3 and 4, you got Vader hunting down Luke. There's still an intergalactic war going on in other parts of the galaxy.
Yeah.
Expand.
Of course. Why would you? Yeah. Why would you have to expand? You want to continue, tell stories that we don't know. Tell in between stories. There's so much that's going on in between these years. There's plenty of stories to tell, and that's proven because they've made such expansions with the books and stuff. That's a terrible idea to reboot it, start over.
And I'm gonna keep it a buck. It's not like the weakest one out of the whole series was Phantom Menace. All right, we can all agree on that. I liked Phantom Menace, but I agree it was the weakest, and as it should be. It's the start of the story, so it should be the weakest of.
I don't know if it should have been the weakest, but
I don't know if it should have been the weakest, but I'm okay with the fact that it is. I didn't think I didn't think it sucked. I just thought that it was slow, and on top of it, I was very disappointed because I didn't expect to see a very young Anakin Skywalker. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was expecting to see maybe like a young, maybe teenager, and I wasn't expecting to see a little kid, and that kind of bummed me out.
But here's why. But see, here's the thing that people keep forgetting, and like I said, I have an appreciation for that first movie, and I got a double appreciation for it later on when somebody had their theory that Jar Jar Binks is actually a Sith. But I digress. The thing that people, but the
I
thing
like
that
one. That's a really good. That is a really good thought that he's actually a Sith Lord.
That was a great theory, but yeah.
But what I really wanted to say is what people forget about the first movie is that, or episode 1, is that it was a toy thing. It was geared towards kids. Even though George Lucas was trying to tell a story authentically, to his credit, he was trying to tell a story, but he still was thinking with. Remember, his deal with Kenner expired, so everything came back home. So now he owns everything. So what's the best thing to do? Make a movie that involves a kid. That way we can sell all of these toys. I can get all of this money, and my movie probably will still do well. Now people panned it, but the bottom line is they made up for it in the next 2 films, in the next 2 episodes.
Yeah. So I'm moving on to want to throw up here real quick my She Got Next 25 and Under edition. Like we did, in the previous we did the
Just the booty molester.
Huh? Say again?
Just the booty molester.
Oh, this is the 25 and Under edition of
that's a little chesterist. I don't know.
So, wow. So these are the ones that I say got next that are just like I said before, that's gonna take the torch and run with it. Got illustrious careers ahead of them. So, my 5 picks is Haley Steinfeld, Marcia Martin, Millie Bobby Brown, Storm Reed, and Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney is actually 25. She's turning 26 this year, so she made the cut because she's 25 right now. What'd you say? Oh, you talking about Florence Pugh? How old is she though? Is she 25 or under?
I think so.
Which world?
Florence Pugh.
Oh,
I'm not sure. But anyway, it's Marcia Martin. Look, if you just look at the picture of Marcia Martin here, it tells you right there she's got a promising career. She's holding up like 4 different trophies, like award trophies.
Florence Pugh.
You know what? I have to object. I have to object to number 2. I'm objecting to number 2 on the merit of she's black excellence, so she don't count because she just automatically, and she rolled the dice and got go and go directly past go, collect $200 on your way, and because she landed on that, she ended up on free parking, collected whatever was under free parking, and still rolling on.
Kev, what the hell are you talking about? Anyway,
what are you smoking? Wait.
You just went around the whole Monopoly board just to say that she's black.
Are you still in that car with the boot in front and back of the movie theater? Like, what's up?
Listen, that's wrong, Ralph. That's just fucking wrong, Ralph. Nah, what I'm saying
I'm just
is,
let me put my points out about
what I'm saying is,
obviously, she's obviously
count because she's gonna blow all of them out the water within the next 2 years.
She probably will.
I don't know. Whoa.
That's why she's on my list now. Millie Bobby Brown is definitely, she's another one because remember she's also produced that Sherlock Holmes film, Nola Holmes. Yep, she produced that. She produced that. So Millie Bobby Brown is also one of those people. She's right there. She understands the assignment. She's already producing and she produced that at what, 16? She was 16 when she produced that because she's now only 18. So that film was shot at least 2 years ago. So, and she produced it. So she was like 16 when she produced that film. But anyway, her, they all have really, not just promising careers just as actors. Like you said, when you count Marcia Martin and Millie Bobby Brown, most specifically, now you're even looking at as producers, you know, in the game and doing what they do. You know, they, like I said, they're the ones that came to mind for me. Storm Reed is another one I think is gonna really
I do too.
blow. She's gonna really blow. She's already very known. When you think about it, she is, that's such a great casting too. Because don't she remind you of Zendaya a little bit? Like she could be Zendaya's little sister. That was like a great casting for Euphoria. But she was already known. It was her and Zendaya were the two known people in Euphoria when it came out. You know, everyone else was like, you know, unknown basically. It was really just Zendaya and her, who like you've seen them before, you know. So but she's everyone talks, of course, deservedly so, about Zendaya's performance in the last season of Euphoria, but her performance was pretty good too. Her performance was pretty damn good. As you know, she's supporting, you know, she didn't have no main character role, but just playing the sister, and I even credit the mother to them. I love the mother's performance too in it. Like all three of those actors really did a great job. And Sydney Sweeney, I just think, you know, I see something in her too that I think she's just going to. She just joined. What did she just join? She just joined something. I think she just joined the MCU, didn't she? She joined a superhero film or something recently.
Yeah, she did.
Is she on Madam Web? Or I think she's in Madam
Web.
Web.
Yeah.
Yep. She just joined Madam Web, right? Yeah. So now she's part of the MCU. It ain't nothing but it ain't.
Stop that. Nope. She's not a part of the MCU.
Okay, well, she's part of the extended MCU, the Spider-Man universe, Spider-Verse. She's part of the Spider-Verse. But she's even though, okay, she's part of the Spider-Verse.
The Sony Spider-Verse.
There's only one Spider-Verse. That's Sony. Everything else is the MCU.
Spider-Verse. Yeah. She's not a part of. There's a clear distinction between Andrew Garfield, between Toby what the hell is his goddamn name? The new Spider.
I understand that, but that Spider-Man is part of the MCU. The Spider-Verse belongs to Sony. The Spider-Verse is Sony. That's what I mean. She's okay. So she's joined the Spider-Verse.
That Madam Web look. Madam Web is supposed to be old, so I don't know what they do.
Yeah. So maybe they're gonna make her look old.
It depends on what she's playing. It just says she's in the cast.
No, she's not playing exactly Madam Web. Madam Web is the girl from Game of Thrones. Emilia Clarke or whatever her name is. Isn't she Madam Web?
I think so. Yeah.
She is. She's Madam Web. So obviously it's gonna probably be some sort of origin story, which we never really got from Madam Web. But you know,
I think it's Dakota Johnson.
Dakota Johnson is Madam
Web?
No,
Dakota Johnson is playing Madam. Yeah, she's playing Madam Web.
Who? Dakota
Johnson is playing Madam Web.
Okay. So Emilia Clarke, I forgot who she's playing. So many of them now are joining these. You know, like we know that superheroes is the way to go. So,
I would love for her to play Felicia Hardy though.
But who?
Emily.
Yeah. So, shoot, I wouldn't mind. There's a couple of them that would be good as Felicia Hardy. I think. This one here wouldn't be bad as a Felicia Hardy if it was in the MCU because she's around the same age as Tom Holland. Sydney Sweeney, she wouldn't be bad as Felicia Hardy. You know what I'm saying? If it was an MCU Felicia Hardy.
They don't want her to come on
Tom Holland.
Zendaya fucking around with her man.
I know, right?
Now I'm looking here. It says that Emilia Clarke she joined the cast of the upcoming series Secret Invasion for Disney+.
Oh yeah, Secret Invasion. That's where Emilia Clarke is in. Yeah, she's in Secret Invasion. I'm getting confused because they're all joining the superheroes. So, but this is my list of what she got next. I mean, Haley Steinfeld is, like I said, she's already. There's nothing but upside to all of these actors.
Nothing but upside for her. All of the actors, and they all got great launch pad platforms right now. Messiah Martin did it on television,
Millie Bobby Brown did it technically on television with Stranger Things, streaming she started doing she did that movie and blah blah blah. So those two are pretty much television. Then you got Storm Reed, who kind of did a little both. She did television and film, and Sydney Sweeney's on cable television, started her launch pad. And Haley was, Haley's been acting since she was mad young. Wasn't she Disney? Wasn't she a Disney kid?
First thing she's in the remake of True Grit.
True Grit, yeah, she was mad little too back then, yeah.
Yeah, she's like 15 years old.
Yep, starting in film. So she killing it. It's all upside for them. So I'm gonna. I know you sent me yours, Ralph. I'm gonna pull yours up, and we can go through yours because yeah. But man, they got next, man. They got next. I'm very, very excited to see what's next for these young women, especially Messiah Martin. I mean, I really can't wait to see what she pulls out her bag because she is just. She's a very
older.
She's so smart, so articulate. There's such a smart young kid, man, and it's great to see that. It's great to see that stuff. Same thing with Millie Bobby Brown. They all are very especially though I'm sticking on those two because they're so young. Messiah Martin and Millie Bobby Brown, they're young, and you forget they're that young because they're so very articulate and mature when they speak and everything like that. So it's very easy to forget that, especially with all of their accomplishments, they producing and stuff like that. Very easy to forget.
What you need to do while Millie is still the age that she is, put in for her to become the assassin. She's at the perfect age.
Well, that's what, bro. Let me tell you something. I literally sat down and was trying to contemplate how can I get a script to Millie Bobby Brown for the for Matilda the Professional. And I know that old dude and they have that problem and they're not gonna let it happen, but I don't care. I want to put it out there anyway. Who knows? Maybe if it comes from a different person, they might let them
do a whole nother movie with a chick that's named Maria instead of Matilda. Change the boss name.
Nah, but I mean, I have a vision, bro, and my vision is her and Natalie Portman playing in this movie. Her playing the younger version of Matilda, pretty much picking up almost like a few years from The Professional, because she was whatever age she was in The Professional, and then let's just pick up 5 years later, you got Millie Bobby Brown, so then tell the story parallel to each other, just as they did like in The Godfather 2, and tell those stories going back and forth between her and Natalie Portman. And I have this vision for it, and I want to write it and just send it to her and see what happens. So let me bring up. I have Ralph's here. Let me share the screen here. Where is my? Why can't I share screens? There we go. Do. Alrighty then. So here we go. We got Ralph's here. So go ahead. You can see it, right? You see it, Ralph? Okay. So take it away. Mm-hmm. Tell me why your picks.
All right. First off, we got Anya Taylor-Joy, and that's a little bit of a cheat because she just turned 26. But all the stuff that we know her for, the Queen's Gambit, Split, is all within her in 25 and before. Joey King has been acting for years. She's got some sort of movie coming out in August called The Queen, where she's like this rebellious queen that goes around kicking people's ass and stuff.
That's interesting.
Like, that's what it is. She's only like 23 years old. It's supposed to come out in August. Maud Apatow, this girl here, who is Judge Apatow and
their daughter.
I see so many different things for her. I see her like she certainly could pull off. She does drama as she does in Insecure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean in Euphoria. But I see because of her and her mother and her father's background, she could possibly start doing comedic roles. You know,
Yeah, I could
she
see
could
it
fill the
definitely
void.
getting into that.
You know, yeah, most definitely. You know, Chloe Grace Moretz. I mean, there's not. What can we not say about her? That's Hit Girl.
Her, yeah.
You know, there should
Hit
by
Girl,
now.
right.
There should have been the Kick-Ass 3 by now. It really should have been.
Yeah.
You know, but this last one, Yardy. The reason I put Yardy on there is oldest sister from Blackish, but she was just so good in The Sun Is Also a Star, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she left acting to go back to school, but now she's coming back. She's kind of doing what Natalie Portman did, the same thing. Left and Jodie Foster.
Yeah, left, finish
Stop
school,
acting, concentrate on
right,
school, and come back. So
come back.
If Jodie Foster and Natalie Portman are the benchmarks for that, she has nothing but upside coming to her. Nothing but upside. She's on Times Magazine as one of the most 100 influential people under 30. She's listed as that one. She does a lot of activism. So I kind of like those 5 choices. And like I said,
I like them
she's
too.
a wild card.
No, but because of her age. But I mean, she's got a lot under her belt already.
She's just turning 26.
She got a lot under her belt already. Yeah. I saw Glass on here. I saw, we know Split, obviously, and she was Glass as well. Then you got Emma,
the M. Night Shyamalan movies.
Yeah,
the other one before Glass and Split.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and then you got Peaky Blinders,
which, in the New Mutants,
which is going on right now.
And I'm sorry, I take that back. The one who I was thinking about before Glass and Split is actually Ron Howard's daughter.
Okay, Bryce.
Oh, she's way over. No, she
Bryce Dallas Howard. Yeah. You got Peaky Blinders, which is still going on, a pretty big show right now. And she's in the new Furiosa movie that's filming right now.
Yep.
So she's in that. So good for her, man. She's got a couple films coming out. Yeah, and Chloe was on my list. Chloe Grace Moretz was also she was like number 6 on my list. Like she just missed the top 5 for me.
And Chloe was dope in Tom and Jerry. That Tom and Jerry movie.
That was cool. That was good. And I was glad. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was glad that they put it back because one thing that they do that a lot of times, and old Holly Weird is great for this. They take these young girls and they age them up before they even are the age. You know what I'm saying? They put them in these roles that to me are a little bit too whatever for them, adult, if you will. I hated what they did with her in that terrible Dark Shadows movie. I hated what they did with her in that. It was the movie was terrible.
The movie sucks. The movie sucks.
Well, number 1, the movie sucks. Number 2, they had her as this character. She was like this. I don't know what year they were supposed to be, but they had her in this real all skimpy stuff, and she's doing all of this, provocative dance and stuff. I'm like, she's still mad. She's still a kid. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, kid to me.
With the Hollywood and their perviness.
Right. But trust me, and that's what people complain about that a lot with Millie Bobby Brown. They always say how whoever her stylist and makeup artist, they always make her up like Millie Bobby Brown comes on stuff now looking like she's 30 years old. You know what I mean? And she's just turned 18. You know what I mean? So it's like people are and when you say, okay, when I make a statement saying you forget these young women are kids because of their articulate and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. That's what I mean when I say it. But some of these other ones forget it because of how they looking and how they're portraying them and how they're doing these photo shoots with them and these things. So that they're doing that and they do it. They were doing it with Chloe. I mean, let's be honest. Let's keep it a buck. Hollywood has been doing this since Shirley Temple. You know what I'm saying? So let's be honest. I mean, Shirley,
that's
they've
the same thing
been
with
sexualizing these kids. Jodie Foster. They've been sexualizing these kids since Shirley Temple. Let's think about it. Everybody you thought that was supposed to be so innocent and cute. Her sitting on these grown men's laps, singing to them and stuff like that. And people, come on, man, don't even get me started with that stuff. I get heated with stuff like that.
But the perfect example of how they should be treated is how Millie Bobby Brown was in Kong versus Godzilla, or she was in the one before that.
Yes, that's a role that she should have been. Now, like with Hit Girl, she was a kid, and that was just a role. That was I was okay with that, but I'm talking about the role they had her in Dark Shadows, which is, once again, go on record, the only film that I ever walked out on. I've never ever paid money to see a film and got up and walked out of it. That was the only film I ever did that with. That film was terrible.
Yes, it was.
And I was like, yo, I chose to go see Avengers for like the 8th time. Instead of, when I walked out of that, I went into Avengers. I was like, look, I'm gonna go watch Avengers again because I just couldn't take it.
I'm sorry, Michael Fassbender. I have to put you on that list too, because I walked out of Whatchamacallit with the same disgust.
Yeah, which one?
Not Prince of Persia. What the hell is the name of this movie?
The Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, that was bad. Especially me. I play the games, bro. I play the games, so I was like,
it started off so good, and I was like, man, this is going to be great. And it's Michael Fassbender, so I know it's going to be.
Yeah. But
I was just like, what the
Ralph, you've ever walked out of a movie? I know you used to work for a movie theater, but I'm talking about a movie theater that you've paid for. A movie that you've paid for. Have you ever walked out of one because it was just that bad?
No, I've never. Because I've sat around. There's a bunch of movies that I felt like I wanted to walk out of. Like I wanted to walk out of movie 43 because this is just beyond stupid, right? But I kept saying maybe it'll get better as it goes on. Maybe it get better. And then you're like,
see, I
bullshit.
I that to myself one too many times, and I wasn't about to do it again. I was
maybe it's get better. Maybe to get better, bro. I had no thought. I had no faith that Dark Shadows was gonna get any better, and I was like, yo, they are just completely decimated this show. And because I wasn't a big fan of Dark Shadows, but my mother was, so I've seen a lot of those episodes. Now Dark Shadows was like a soap opera, basically, when it was on TV. But I'm just saying, it was a soap opera. So to me, Dark Shadows was never scary, but it was creepy. It was creepy.
Basically, was like soap. Soap was
my show, man. Soap was my show, bro. Yeah, Soap was so funny, bro. That show did they pushed so many boundaries and broke so many rules on that show, and I really love the way they did it. But oh my god, big up to Tubi. I watch Soap to this day on Tubi. It's on Tubi, so I'd go on there. I haven't watched it in a while, so I don't know if it's off Tubi yet, but it was on Tubi, where you can find it on there. I think it's still on there. So I watch that to this day because that's how I go to sleep. I need nostalgia to go to sleep. So I put on old school. I put on The Greatest American Hero, and it's all on Tubi. I put on The Greatest American Hero. I put on Charlie's Angels.
That is
a
TV series.
Incredible Hulk.
That is a TV series that has been begging to come to the big screen for decades. The Greatest American Hero. You can do so many things.
Don't put it in the universe, Ralph. That was my job. That's my job to do that movie. Don't put it in the universe.
Get on it, man. Get on it.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite shows ever, The Greatest American Hero, and I would love to write a film about that.
No, that doesn't need to be a film. That needs to come back as a television series.
Yes,
that would be cool too. That would be cool too.
That needs
I
to
could
be
do
a
it either
movie.
way.
Yes, it does, but it needs to be a movie.
No, it doesn't. I don't
agree with that.
I don't agree with that.
I could have just seen the Abraham brothers doing that as like the Naked Gun, but in the sky. That it would have been outrageously funny. I just think it would have been one of the movies where you said, I need to be smoking some weed to really appreciate how great this movie really is.
Yeah, I could definitely, I could see it as either or. I could, and I'd be happy for it as either or. Film and or a television series, redone or whatever. It was just so funny, man. And rewatching it makes it even funnier to me. And I'm just like, of course, I'm not, aside of the bad effects, but at that point, hey, that's what they had, that's what they did, right? But to me, rewatching it though, the whole fact that he, because I forgot. I mean, I watched this as a kid. I forgot that he actually lost the instructions to the suit the very first day.
That's what makes it. That's why I said it can't be done as a movie, because he finds out his powers over time.
Yeah, it took 3 seasons before he even had the full. Because I think, remember, he goes back, he gets another. They give him another manual.
Another book,
and they give him another, and he lost that one too. And they were like, they were like, we ain't giving you no more. We ain't got no more. They told him, we gave you a second book and you lost that. But yeah, I love the greatest two of my favorite shows that I like to remake, and one that I will make into a film would be The Fall Guy. I would make that into a film.
That would work as a film, because
that work as a film. I remember I was talking. I literally was talking to David Chin. I was like, "Yo, bro, let's do this." I was like, "Yo, let's get The Fall Guy going." But no, that would work as a film, because the premise of it would work as a film. But I agree with you. The way he's a bounty hunter and a stunt man. Yeah, he's a bounty hunter and a stunt man. And the funny thing is, David Chin. Yeah. Shout out to David Chin. He is a bounty. He said he used to be a bounty hunter. That's what he said. He said he literally used to be a bounty hunter.
What? But you know who you would have to get to play it? It's 3 people that could do it. Brad Pitt, Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt.
To see Brad Pitt doing it, that'd be funny. Well, you have to. I mean, if you're gonna say 3 people that could do it, I mean, hell, you gotta put Tom Cruise
Anybody
in there.
can do it.
He is a stunt man.
Yeah, he would be the third person.
You gotta put Tom Cruise in there because he is a stunt man. He is a fall guy. So, he, that now Tom Cruise.
But see, here's the problem with those 2 guys you named. And these, the fall guy, if you ever really saw the show, he looked like a regular average Joe. He wasn't super handsome. He wasn't super fit. He was just like a regular
Lee Majors. What are you talking about? That was Lee Majors. That's the $6 million man. He was considered a handsome guy. He was the
This is acting. But what I'm
married to Farrah Fawcett.
Nah, he was divorced then. But what I'm saying was he just looked like a regular.
I get what you're saying.
He was just a regular
Joe,
but here's the thing, but here's the thing, Ralph. Both Brad Pitt and Gerard Butler can pull that off.
Yeah, they can pull off a regular look.
Sure, but why does it have to be somebody of a Brad Pitt or Gerard Butler's level?
It doesn't have to be.
Why do you gotta get some massive A-list star? You can get any.
No, you don't have to. I agree. You don't have to. You just name it. He's just naming off people. That's his choice. If he's doing it. Me personally, my choice I would probably.
And here's why. And here's my
I'd
reason.
go a little younger. That's what I would do.
Exactly. Go younger.
No. Why go younger? Because Lee Majors wasn't younger when he was playing the stunt.
No, I know that. I'm just saying.
I don't mean him. I don't mean him in physical age, but I mean his character was supposed to have like an age look and I got some history under me.
Right, he's got experience. He had experience behind him. Yeah, exactly. No, I got you. Exactly. You know who else could do it though? Since we're naming big stars, You know who else could do it? I mean, obviously he could do it because he was James Bond.
And
Daniel Craig.
also Brad Pitt, because he's also proved he proved his grit in the Hollywood movie, Quentin Tarantino's movie.
Yeah.
What's
But
the
I'm still,
I can see
I
any
get
of
that,
those
but
guys
all-
that you
but-
mentioned,
but
and
what I'm
I
sitting
can
there saying
rock with any of them.
is that I don't think you need to have some major A-list dude play this. You don't
You
need
don't
someone
have
of
to.
a Brad Pitt quality. You could hell.
thing? Yes, you do, because if you're trying to draw in another crowd, but okay, we don't have to go with him. We can use Jason Eccles.
Yeah, Jensen Ackles is great. I love him.
Jensen Ackles.
Jensen Ackles from what's the show that they was been on for a million years on the WB? Supernatural.
Supernatural.
Oh,
and
yeah.
now he's doing The Boys.
Now he's on The Boys. Yeah, he's on The Boys. Yeah, I could go with him. I love him. He's a really good.
You want to wait a minute? You really want to throw it? Give me what's his name that plays Bones in Star Trek? Have him.
Oh yeah,
play the
yes,
fall
that's
guy.
the same guy from The Boys. Yeah,
Yeah,
him. He could do it too. He could do anything. That dude's a phenomenal actor.
I agree.
Yeah. Carl Urban can do anything. So he would actually be a very good. Yeah, Carl Urban would be a very good fall guy.
Or you know what, Chris Evans would be a good fall guy.
Actually,
yeah, Chris Evans do it.
now you know who just came to mind who I think could really be a really good fall guy.
There's a lot of people that could play.
What's his name that used to play on Justified? That guy.
Oh yeah.
The guy that was leading the show. Justified.
But
Timothy Olyphant, right?
If you used him,
yes.
he would be the trailer trash version of the fall guy. that motherfucker, Lim. I don't care. Every movie he plays in, I call him by his damn name, creepy ass Lim.
There's a lot of guys though that could play this role, A-list and otherwise, because not to say that it's anybody could play it, but I mean, there's a lot of people that would be able to do it. Now, like I said, yes, for on both ends of it, if you're going to go, we're gonna make this such a big extravaganza, then yeah, you cast one of these A-list guys to play him, and it I'm telling you, it could be all of them from Tom Cruise to Brad Pitt, who you mentioned, to Leo DiCaprio could do it. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people could do it.
Oh my God!
Leo would kill it too. Leo would.
Oh my God!
Leo would kill it now.
Yeah,
Leo would kill the fall guy. Man.
Wait, what was the movie he was in where he was when the bear was chasing him? What was the name of that movie again?
The Revenant.
We get the Revenant Leo to play the fall guy.
Yeah, he would. Leo would kill it, man. And like we said, Brad,
Inception version of Leo. Give me that.
I think any version.
Oh my God!
I'm on
any version of Leo.
Leo
would kill it, man. Leo would kill it. But they could all do it. But like I said, that would be better as a movie. But they've been for years trying to do the $6 Million Man, which they really called it. They changed it to the $6 Billion Man, and they still could not get that off the ground. Originally, Mark Wahlberg, who also could do the fall guy if they chose. He's another A-lister.
I don't want to see him do the fall guy. I don't want to see him do the fall guy.
I'm not saying I want to see him do it, but he could do it. That's what I'm saying. So I mean, he's not on top of my list. He ain't on top of my list, but he could definitely do it. But this is how I look at it. When you watch The Fall Guy, remember, people who are fans of the show, The Fall Guy was kind of like his character. This was took place in Texas or something. Like he's like a Texas.
No, it was L.A. Wasn't it L.A.?
It was California.
Oh, it was California. But he had that whole. Even with the song that Lee Majors actually sung, that song was like a country song. It had that whole country man vibe.
That was a time. That was a time of
cowboy,
urban cowboy, and all that stuff where country music was coming
urban
up. The Gambler, Kenny Rogers.
Gambler, right. So I feel that too. So
now,
you know who else
Texas,
with that vibe.
Now, if you said
that
Texas,
vibe,
Texas,
you know who I know who you about to go to. If
Matthew
you say
McConaughey.
Texas, you got to go to Matthew McConaughey. He would kill the fall guy.
But you know,
I'm
gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. And I think this is.
If you get Matthew McConaughey to do
no Matthew McConaughey, and I'm for only one reason is that for whatever reason they decided to make the Lincoln Lawyer into a TV series, and they didn't put him as Lincoln Lawyer, and I was like,
there is a Lincoln Lawyer TV series.
No, he did
already,
but he's not the lead in it.
I know.
Like,
that.
why didn't you put Matthew
that's
McConaughey?
already a done deal, though. So he's not the lead in it. The Lincoln Lawyer TV series already exists. It's already on. It's playing
I know.
now.
And that's what
he's not the lead.
And that's what I was.
So he's not in it.
And that's why I'm kind of resin. Like, I don't think I want to see it because he's not the lead in the TV series. He was excellent in the movie. Why wouldn't you put him in the TV series? Since it's Netflix, it's not like it's ABC or something. Maybe
he didn't want to do
Netflix.
it.
Why did you guys even?
He may not have wanted to do it.
Good in
I'm
True
sure.
Detective, like he could.
Who knows? They may have reached out to him, and he man. I believe, to be honest with you, I think his acting days are starting to wind down. I think he's getting into politics. To be honest with you, I think his acting days are coming to a
Ronald
close, and he's going. Yeah, he's doing a Reagan, a Schwarzenegger. He's going to be the next governor. Probably he's going to run for like governor of Texas or something. Especially after what happened in Uvalde, his hometown. Right. It happened in the shooting in Uvalde, Texas, his hometown, and his visit to the White House, and he's fed up, with all the stuff that's going on. He's already been a very political type of dude already, and I could see him running for some sort of office, possibly either the mayor. He may start as the mayor of Uvalde or something like that. And then he'll maybe work his way up, try to go to be a governor of Texas or something like that. I think he's going to go into politics. If anybody that's an actor right now that I would say between him and Matt Damon, those are the two that I would see going into politics. But
I wouldn't trust Matt Damon because Matt Damon.
I'm not saying about it. Ain't got to do with trusting. I'm just saying I could see them going into it because they're both so into it. You know what I mean? Even
and especially Matt Damon is too emotional. Like he got his feeling, like he act like he was really betrayed by Obama. He's like, oh, he really betrayed us. Like, and
well, I mean, like I said, I don't care about trusting him or not. I'm just saying I see if I was to sit back and point a finger at who is going to be the next Ronald Reagan, meaning actor turn politician or Schwarzenegger, I would say Matthew McConaughey and I would say Matt Damon.
I'm going with McConaughey.
I'd say both of them. I say they both because they're both very.
I would move to Texas and vote for Matthew McConaughey.
But Texas. I mean, McConaughey would definitely do it. So that's what I think he's going. I don't think he's going to have to because he's really that whole thing in Uvalde, which should have touched a lot of people more than what it touched. That's his backyard, and it really, really hit home for him, literally. And he is pissed. He's kind of fed up.
And what I appreciate, not to turn this into a whole political thing, but what I appreciate about him was between him. There was only a handful of people, including myself, who kept saying, "What are y'all talking about? These police officers did not do their job. They did." And people kept saying, the police were scared. The police were scared to go inside because the shooter was more well armed than them. Lies. All of those police officers that were outside had AR-15s.
Yeah. So they were all, and even I don't care if they didn't have AR-15s. It was like 40 of them, and he had one.
Listen, it took two border patrol agents said, "Screw y'all, we going in here and save these kids
and save who's left." But yeah, so like I said, I think Matthew McConaughey would be I think his acting days are coming to a close. I think he's going to, at this point, he's the type of dude that he's made his money. He has also investments and owns companies and businesses and stuff like that.
And the Lincoln commercial check is pretty probably good.
Right. He's got his money. I can see him now getting into politics to try to make things, on his.
Yep. I agree. Show them how them officers stood outside and waited because they wanted to make sure it wasn't a white shooter inside.
Yeah,
And
I think that that's what he's going to do. So, but that's neither here nor there. But that's why you won't see him do the Fall Guy because he's probably not gonna make too many more movies.
Now, personally though, if he does, I don't want to see Matthew McConaughey do the Fall Guy. I wouldn't mind seeing Matthew McConaughey doing Matt Houston. I kind of like
that'd be
him
dope.
in
That'd be dope.
In that role, that'd
be nice. Do Matt Houston.
I kind of like that one.
I like that one. I like that one too.
That series. Wow, Ralph, good choice.
Matt Houston, yeah, I remember that.
That was a good. That was a damn good series. I love it.
Yeah. It was. To me, his series was running neck and neck with Magnum PI. It was Matt Houston and Magnum PI because I remember because they both had similar looks too, with the mustache and stuff like that. Matt Houston's mustache, I think, was a little bit thinner than
a lot thinner.
It was thinner.
It was thinner than Magnum's, but they were the same type of. They were like, if you want to say rival shows, like they was on the show that it was like, them two was like, I don't know, Dallas and Knots Landed. You know what I'm saying?
But Matt Houston had the better girl. He had the better looking girl.
Yeah, he had a better looking girl. He had a hottie.
Pamela.
He
like
Matt Houston has some,
goddamn.
But that was the days, man. That was the days where the leading man usually had a hot chick. When you think about the Fall Guy, you know what I mean?
Even the Fall Guy, Marquis Post, man. Look, Marquis Post was smoking. She was smoking. Forget her as Night Court. When she was on the Fall Guy, she was smoking.
Yeah, the Fall Guy. Yeah. So I mean, that's what it is. But we'll see. Those are the films I'd like to see, or those are the properties I'd like to see remake. I don't know what they're doing with the $6 billion man. I really wish they would go ahead and they never. I don't know, that may not ever happen.
The only listen, I'm gonna be quite honest with you.
Only $6 trillion.
There's only two people you can get to do it: Keanu Reeves or Chris Evans.
I mean, they're already. I mean, right now it's already Mark Wahlberg. He's already been signed.
Oh my God, they're fucking up. They are fucking up.
He's been signed off for that for years.
Where's the petition at to get his ass off? Where's the?
I think he's producing. He's supposed to produce it. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, he ain't going nowhere.
Listen, I love Marky Mark. You with all this racist bullshit from the past. I love Marky Mark. I love him in certain films. He was dope in certain films, but this is not his lane. One, he's not tall enough. Two, he's not tall enough. Three, he is not tall enough.
He's not tall enough.
The $6 million man is not a shrink.
All right, bro.
That's funny.
I don't know what to say. He's just
short. Listen, I'd rather him see a Bionic Woman movie. I don't want to see that. No.
As of right now, he's definitely one of the executive. He's supposed to be one of the executive producers of it, but it may not. Maybe he'll get up. Remember, before him, it was supposed to be Jim Carrey because they was trying to make it a comedy.
See, that's the bull. That's
BS. They were trying to make it a comedy before
shows and convert them into comedy.
They do it all the time because comedy, like you said the word business model. Comedies are easier to make, and they make big money.
Yeah. I guess.
Business model. That was you, the one who brought that up. It's the business model. Comedies and horror are inexpensive to make. Generally inexpensive and easy to make, and they always have pretty much good return. So even if a comedy is bad, it makes money because people even go to watch comedies that are not even that good because there's different people, there's different types of humor now. There's dry humor. There's what I call, I hate to say it, I call it white boy humor. So it's so bad. It sounds so racist. But it is. It's a certain type of humor, like that Jackass, like that type of humor. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's funny to some people. You know, and some of it's funny to me too. But yeah, some of it is. But then you got,
I've seen Jackass.
Regular
Jackass
parody humor.
After the first half hour, it just like after the first half hour, it just kind of like okay. The first half hour, you're laughing your ass off, but then after that, it's like,
Right. Yeah. You got parody humor. You got, stuff like that, like the Naked Gun, like all of the Wayans Brothers stuff and stuff like that. Yeah. But so comedy is easier to make. And they were originally gonna make. Thank God they didn't. So if I have to choose between the lesser of two evils, give me Mark Wahlberg all day. I do not want to see a comedy version. I'd rather see Mark Wahlberg than Jim Carrey as a comedy version of the $6 million.
And you know what? I think, and I honestly believe Jim Carrey probably, the reason why that didn't work is Jim Carrey was probably like, fuck is y'all doing? This shit ain't funny. There was nothing funny about the $6 Million Man.
No, they were going to, like I said, man, I got my few that I'm gonna write my little spec scripts and we go from there. But yeah, we'll see how that turns out. But those are some of my favorite shows ever. The $6 Million Man, The Fall Guy. Because of the $6 Million Man, I started watching The Fall Guy. That was the only reason why I started watching The Fall Guy. You know what I'm saying? Because I was following Lee Majors. I was like, oh, that's a $6 Million. I was like, that's Bionic Man. I'm gonna watch this. And then I was like, oh, this is a great show. It still was a cool show.
The theme music. No, I didn't. When we did that theme music battle, I forgot all about that one.
Yeah,
the theme music.
That was
that should have been on there. That should have been on there.
That was sung by Lee Majors.
Yeah, by Lee Majors.
Yeah. You know what else? When you mentioned Matt Houston, you know what else would be like if they made a movie from it that would also be like the Texan type of thing with that other show, Simon and Simon. Was that what they were called?
Two
brothers.
That could work. That could work.
Yeah. Simon and Simon.
Simon and Simon wasn't really the one brother had the Texas kind of because he wore the cowboy hat or whatever.
Yeah, he always wore the cowboy hat. Yeah.
but he really wasn't like a Texan. He just wore the cowboy hat.
Honestly, right now, the only movie that was made from one of those classic TV shows to me right now that they did well by it was the A-Team. To me.
Yeah.
I think the A-Team was perfect casting. Everybody they casted was great as their characters.
Yeah.
And they did it.
I don't know, except that part. The guy that played BA.
No, he was
fine.
You could have got somebody else. He was decent. I think you could have got somebody else.
No, you couldn't have got nobody.
He was
I don't know about that part, man. Could you imagine?
Of course, you could have maybe gotten someone else, but I mean, he was fine. It was the same formula that they kind of made it with Mr. T, because Mr. T was new to the game at that point when they did the A-Team. You know what I'm saying? He was still coming up. You know what I mean? He was, people knew who he was, but he was still coming up. A-Team, so they took that formula, they took my man, he was like an MMA fighter, right? That dude that they got.
Yeah.
I think he did fine.
It would have been like if it would have been Mike Tyson, or if it would have been Michael Jai White in that role. Like I don't
know about Michael Jai White. Michael Jai White's a great actor, but I don't think that's a role for him. B.A. Baracus. He bring a whole different dynamic to the character, and it's a dynamic that isn't needed because he's the whole fighting, the martial arts and stuff like that. That's a dynamic that's not needed as B.A. Baracus. You know what I'm saying? That's not his character.
I'm gonna be honest. So, if you had to do something with Michael Jai White, and that I would rather see Michael Jai White trying to playing the role of Mr. T. but I don't know how
Well, that's
good.
what you're saying. The Mr. T. Yeah, B.A. Baracus, right.
No. I mean, no, I don't mean as in the A team. I mean as if there was a
playing Mr. T as if there's a Mr. T movie, right?
Like there was a cartoon Mr. T. Like if they had to do a movie Mr. T, then Michael Jai White as Mr. T. Whatever.
Yeah, maybe he could do that. Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't. I think going with a fairly new guy was fine. You had your star power with my man who played Hannibal. My man from Taken.
Liam
Liam Neeson. I think the casting was great. The casting was damn near perfect. And the dude they cast as Murdoch, he killed that. He bodied that, bro. The guy he played Murdoch. And my man, what's his face? He was perfect as Face. He was perfect as Face.
He was like I think out of everybody, he was the most perfect part was Bradley Cooper as Face.
Bradley Cooper as Face. That was a perfect casting. I was like, yo, I wouldn't. I don't know who else I could have played. Like he killed.
But I don't think if you had to hold a side by side picture of him and the actor that played Face on the TV series, it would have been perfect. Bradley Cooper and him.
Yeah, as I said, he really played that role perfectly. He had the persona and everything perfect. And the guy who played Murdoch was so nuts. He was great though. He didn't look like the guy who played Murdoch.
And this is why the black dude that played BA was dope, because him and the relationship between him and Murdoch was dope.
Perfect.
Yeah,
it was good. I'm not even gonna lie.
They had good chemistry. Yeah, good camera chemistry. I was good. I can't think of no other. Can you think of any other movie that was made from? I don't think none of them was made from a classic TV show that they actually really did right by it. Starsky and Hutch was
Star Trek. Just Star Trek.
Just went to that.
Well, I mean Star Trek, of course, yeah. Star Trek. Dukes of Hazzard was garbage. Dukes of Hazzard was garbage. Starsky and Hutch was a Mod Squad wasn't good.
Now I will say,
Mission Impossible. That's it.
I'm gonna give credit to the first Charlie's Angels. That one I would say yes.
Decent.
The one with Drew Barrymore.
They did right. They did right by it. And they had a certain vision that they wanted to go. Took it a different way. Because they didn't want to have the guns. They wanted to do it without really using the guns and stuff like that. And Charlie's Angels used guns.
I thought that was stupid. You just trying to take advantage of the Quentin Tarantino moment with Kill Bill. I think they should have. You should have leaned, because Charlie's Angels, that was the whole thing. The image was them holding the guns like that. It should have been all about the guns. You took out.
They definitely used them. I was watching that show on Tubi as well. I've been watching that. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was watching that show from the beginning on Tubi, and that show had some good storylines, man. Charlie's Angels had some good stories, man.
There was a remake that they did about 5 or 6 years ago.
That was terrible. That was awful. That was awful.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the first one with Drew
Barrymore. It was
the first one.
It was not awful. It's definitely the worst. It's the worst of all of them. It was not good. That movie was not good. They were trying to be too different. Not the
movie. Not the movie.
Oh, you talking about TV show? Okay, the movie. I'm talking about the movie.
They redid the TV show, and it was like
I didn't see. I did.
It was.
I tell you one movie. One TV show
they had playing. I didn't like the way they did with the guy that was playing Charlie. Like I didn't like Charlie. That.
I haven't seen I didn't know they actually did another TV series for it. I'll tell you one that slipped under the radar though that I thought wasn't that bad when they were trying to do it was actually when they were doing the I think it was the Bionic Woman, wasn't it? I think it was the Bionic Woman. It slipped under the radar.
They tried to do the Bionic Woman, and
I saw it. It wasn't that bad.
Got dropped after 2 episodes. It got dropped in a couple. So they did.
I mean, no, it was more than 2 episodes, bro.
That's probably
They
why
did a whole season. I mean,
that's
maybe they just didn't renew it, but they did a whole season of it. They didn't do just 2 episodes.
No, I said it was like after 2 episodes, it was just like gone, and they threw it on every once in the blue moon to finish out the season.
What channel did it come
just
on?
didn't.
Because they probably switched it to Saturdays, and it finished off on Saturdays.
NBC.
I think it was NBC. NBC owns
it was on NBC.
They own the IP. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
NBC owns the IP to it. It was probably it was NBC. It was definitely NBC. And I watched it and I was like, I mean, it wasn't terrible. But I guess it didn't make the cut on NBC. You could probably go on Peacock and find it. You could probably go on Peacock and watch it. Because
but that's probably why they didn't do a $6 million Man, because they probably figured if that's not going to make it, you know. But see, that's the thing. Like what people keep forgetting is when those shows came out, even some of the movies when they came out, and I keep saying this was in the time of I hate to keep using this word, but until I find another word for it, I'm going to keep using this word. It was in the time of innocence. It was in the time of our growing imaginations. It was in the time of where the government was limiting technology, so we weren't moving at the same pace that we're moving at now. We were moving at a much slower pace back then. So the things that we like, the things that we were only, the things that were just thought of as like being comic book or just sci-fi is actually real now. So when you go to say something like The Bionic Woman, well, we've already had 3 different movies with different kind of AI. Hell, we had Will Smith as a damn robot man. I mean, so it's like the concept is already
right. The concept, right? It's already advanced to the point where almost talking about bionic is almost taking you back. You have to find a different way to present bionics now,
and it's AI. It's no longer what bionics is.
It would have to be like right now. It'd have to be nanotech or something like that.
Yeah,
it'd have to be some sort of nanotech.
I'm gonna tell you.
No, you could do it like that movie what was the movie that came out? El Machina. You could kind of do it like that, where she has bionic implants. Like
how they had to do it. She was part AI, part bioengineered. Yeah. Bioelectric engineer. This like, you want to talk about something that they could do that would work? Do a Bionic 6 movie.
Yeah, yo, shut up, Kev. Stop putting that in the atmosphere. That's my movie.
Yeah, we're going too far. Going too far.
Shut up. No. You're not, that's my movie. Yeah, that's too much, man. You can't put that out in the atmosphere.
TMI.
That's
TMI.
That's my movie to do. Bionic 6.
Sorry.
On that note,
watching this guy the other day, he was talking. No, I was watching this guy talking about movie TV shows.
I'm about to end the show. Go back and erase that. What Kev said.
You need a neuralizer.
Just man. Yeah, we
just need a neuralizer.
Don't ask yourself why. You just didn't hear it.
Right. I would. Yo, that's my movie to do, bro. I've already started writing the outline and everything to that. I was like, yo, I'm doing Bionic 6, bro. I was tossing up between that and Mask, and I was like, I'm gonna go with the Bionic 6. Yep.
Bionic 6.
Yo, that was my show, bro. That was my show. All right, we're into the show now. It's 12 o'clock. Goodbye, everybody. Please forget what Kevin said 2 minutes ago.
Stricken that from the record.
Strike that from the record. You think I'm joking? I'm literally, when I end the show, I'm going back and I'm getting rid of that. I'm getting that out. I'm editing that out.
Wow.
Thanks everybody for.
And the dope part is there's not going to be a jump. It's not going to be a jump cut because you can't see my face.
Yeah, you just go. Wow. It's just gonna go mute. People are like, "Why is it just dark? Why is it just quiet?" It's just gonna go mute.
Dead air. Oh wait. It's not supposed to be. You're supposed to work against dead air. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. Nah, but thanks everybody for chimed in on the chat room. people that came through. Joseph, of course, in there doing his thing. Tox came through. There's Doris came through. Thank you for Doris gave a lot of nice feedback and insight, and yeah, I'm gonna look into getting that Patreon up and running, and maybe we can, hey, she said it right there. Maybe we should start doing more reactions to actual videos or more actions to trailers and things like that, and give our opinions on what happened, or even if it is something like, right, yeah, I know YouTube be wilding out, man, but we're gonna see. We're gonna do a couple of things. I'm gonna do what India told me. I'm gonna try the premium and see how that works. And but we'll get back with y'all. Well, next week is the 4th of July, so we probably won't be on. But probably right after that, we'll come back with some more interesting content. Talk about when the store come out this weekend.
No, next week.
Next weekend, Thor, right? Like the 6th or something like that.
Oh, the 8th. The 8th.
Yeah, the
2
8th.
weeks.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
Well, probably next Tuesday will probably be the first screening.
Yeah.
I'm not that.
Now y'all got me curious. I'm gonna jump on Peacock and see if I can rewatch the Bionic Woman. I'm gonna go back and rewatch that show, that the remake show, and get another get a more seasoned filmmaker perspective of it. See. But anyway,
are we off air yet?
No.